Joe Mauer celebrated his 30th birthday yesterday. Today, he looks to extend his 9-game hitting streak as he and his teammates take the field in Chicago. The White Sox are happy to be home. Despite the cool temperatures, they're hoping to see their offense heat up. Welcome to Fox Saturday Baseball. The weather is clear, the skies are bright, and a great day for baseball here in Chicago. Hi, everybody. I'm Howard David. Delighted to be alongside Hall of Famer Bert Blyleven and Joe Mauer. What a tremendous career.
Well, yeah, Joe Mauer right now, he's red hot. But Joe Mauer has been red hot throughout his career. 3-time batting champ Joe Mauer. I don't think baseball has ever seen a catcher what Joe Mauer's been able to do offensively and also do a great job of handling his staff. When Joe Mauer is behind the plate, he does a great job of handling the pitching staff, Howard, but I think the biggest thing for Joe Mauer is his offense. 18 hits over this 19-game hitting streak. His work's going to be cut out for him this afternoon because it's facing Jake Peavy. Jake Peavy, the ace, I feel, here for the Chicago White Sox, coming off major shoulder surgery 3 years ago. He has been red hot. He's 2-1, very good ERA. Oh, by the way, he's 4-0 over his last 4 starts against the Twins with a 1.73 earned run average.
The Twins and the White Sox are looking to rebound this season and get back to the postseason after missing out the last few seasons. Today they meet in the first of 19 meetings here on Chicago's South Side. Coming up next on Fox. Temperature at 41 degrees. And when it says it feels like 33, it's because it is. Today's starting lineup for the Twins brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Brian Dozier at the top of the order. You look at Mauer's numbers, startling. 9-game hitting streak. Justin Morneau, Willingham, the power of that lineup right there. Parmalee has been moved up to the 5th spot on the lineup. And you see Oswaldo Arcia. He got his first base hit in his first at-bat. The next day they sent him down. They just brought him back up. And then Aaron Hicks, who's struggling as a rookie, brought up from Double-A. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds. Time for your own Space Pitcher Profile, brought to you by Avis. Jake Peavy, you see his record. He's been a little up and down this year, but this is not the same pitcher that won the Cy Young Award. He doesn't have the same velocity.
Now look at those numbers right there. 18 1/3 innings, only 1 walk with 24 strikeouts. He's had 2 very good starts. He had one against the Washington Nationals a couple starts ago that was not Jake Peavy. But this guy right here, as I mentioned, this guy is the ace of this ball club. Chris Sale, a left-hander, had a great year last year, but this is the workhorse if he's healthy. Relies on consistent movement of his pitches. What does that mean? Means that he will adjust to the stuff he has today. He's had success against the Twins. 12th career start, 6-3, 3.03 earned run average against the Minnesota Twin organization.
Leadoff hitter Brian Dozier, the starting second baseman for the Twins. The first pitch by Peavy is in there for a strike.
I'm going to use the word attack, and that's what Jake Peavy does to opponents. He attacks the strike zone. He will adjust as the game goes on, whether that big slider works or not.
Hit in the air, wide of first base. This is playable. And gathered in by Konerko for the first out of the ball game. Today's White Sox defensive lineup brought to you by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. There you see the defense, and Diaza has moved over from center field to left with the injury to Viciedo, an oblique strain. Rios will man right, and Jordan Danks now occupies center field. You see the rest of the lineup with Jake Peavy on the mound, Keppinger and Florimone, the double play combination, Gillespie at third, Konerko at first, and Tyler Flowers, the catcher. Here's the first pitch on the way, and it is wide to Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer, what a story. 30 years old yesterday. 6th all-time on the Twins hit list, passing Gary Gaetti earlier this season. It just catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1.
And if you've watched Joe Mauer at the plate, he's not afraid to go 0-2. He will make Jake Peavy probably throw 4 or 5 pitches and then take that one pitch probably to left field. Okay numbers. There's a fly ball down the left field line that goes foul, but 7 hits and 26 at-bats, a .269 batting average for Joe Mauer against Jake Peavy. But he's enjoyed hitting against the Chicago White Sox over the last 3+ years.
Joe Mauer, 6'5", 231 pounds. Peavy ahead of the count, 1-2. The pitch just misses the inside corner, a little high. Joe Mauer went to high school in St. Paul, Minnesota. Same high school, not at the same time, as a guy named Paul Molitor, who had a great career, certainly, in the American League, not least of which with the Twins. And Molitor said of Mauer the first time he saw him, this guy's got the greatest swing I've ever seen.
Yeah, out of Cretin-Durham High School in St. Paul. A lot of great athletes have come out of that school.
Drilled to right field off the bat of Mauer in the game's first hit.
Well, it looked like a slider that stayed middle in, and Joe opening up quickly. Joe, I'm going to say that 80% of his hits are the other way. Very seldomly will Joe try to pull that ball, but he's the type of hitter, wherever that pitch is, he's going to try to get good wood on that ball, and that's what he exactly does. Now currently on a 10-game hitting streak.
Josh Willingham steps in, 34 years old, out of Florence, Alabama. Hitting at .222 with a couple of home runs and 5 RBI. First pitch in there for a strike.
Now, last Sunday in Minnesota, the Twins were snowed out against the New York Mets. They had an off day, they played the Angels on Monday and Tuesday in cold weather. Wednesday was snowed out, cold out. Thursday they had an off day, and then yesterday here, another day of off for the Twins. So it's been a while for these guys to be on the field on a consistent basis. Now, Willingham, for some reason, he has not figured out Jake Peavy yet. He's 0 for 15 lifetime against Jake Peavy.
Mauer at first after a one-out single. Won't take much of a lead off the bag as Peavy gives him a look.
Twins have some power in their lineup. Mauer, his job to get on. He can hit some home runs. He has 2, but Willingham coming off a 35-hit home run season last year.
Pitch inside. Count is even. Well, count now 1-2. Josh Willingham in 2012, you mentioned 35 home runs, 110 RBIs. Only Harmon Killebrew in Twins history has hit more home runs in a season than Willingham.
Peavy has a good sinking fastball, very good slider, and a changeup in his 5th season with the White Sox.
Peavy ahead of the count. Pitch down low, and it's even at 2-2.
That's a slider right there, and Willingham able to lay off of that slider. Peavy came up with the Padres back in 2002, a 3-time All-Star, won the National League Cy Young Award in 2007 when he was a 19-game winner for the Padres. Just saw Don Cooper there. Welcome back, Don Cooper, to the ball club.
Flag down by Peavy, goes to second. Nice play at second, on to first, not in time, but they got the runner at second base. Nice play at second base by Keppinger.
Yeah, Keppinger made a great play right here. Peavy trying to do too much right here. He has to go to his right to field this ball, that little short hop, and then spins and then throws the ball in the dirt. Keppinger has to pick it, and no play at first base. So the play going 1-4, and Willingham safe at first.
Keppinger made a very nice play. Keppinger's played third and second so far in this early part of the season. And now Justin Morneau will step in.
Well, with Gordon Beckham out because of that hamate bone surgery that he has, they're looking for a second baseman, and Keppinger getting the opportunity to play second.
Morneau happy to be healthy. Played 134 games last year, 2 injury-riddled seasons prior to that. 2 out here in the first inning. Pitch wide. And Peavy falls behind 2-0 to Justin Morneau at 31 years of age. A Canadian, 2006 American League MVP and a 4-time All-Star. Peavy behind on the count. The pitch again outside, goes to 3-0. Morneau played for Team Canada in the WBC, and he is in the final year of a 6-year contract. Here's the pitch, just caught the corner on the outside. Count 3-1.
A lot of times hitters will have that green light, a guy like Justin Morneau against a pitcher like Peavy, but I said he has so much movement. Peavy's not going to give in to you. He has allowed 4 home runs this year, but 3 coming in that outing against the Washington Nationals.
Willingham leads off first, and the 3-1 swung on and missed. Great pitch on the inside, and Morneau went after it.
Well, the previous pitch, the sinker away, going inside, and Justin with that big swing. You can still see the movement that Peavy has on that pitch.
So Willingham will be in motion, 3-2 and 2 out. Peavy sets and delivers outside. And Morneau draws a walk. The umpiring crew for today at home plate, C.B. Buckner. First base umpire Todd Tichenor. You see Dale Scott at second base, and Bill Miller will be the third base umpire. Dale Scott is the crew chief in this quartet, as Chris Parmelee steps in for the Minnesota Twins, hitting .237 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Peavy in a little bit of a jam here in the first inning. Runners at first and second, 2 out.
And that walk to Justin, only Peavy's second of the year in 19 innings pitched, so control has not been an issue for Jake Peavy.
Parmelee, only 25 years of age, from Long Beach, California. Now with an opportunity to make some noise for the Twins in the top of the first.
Parmelee in his 3rd season last year hit only .229 in 64 ball games. The Twins hoping to get some power off the bat of Chris Parmelee.
Fouls it back to the screen, and Peavy way ahead now, 0-2. Well, you've seen Peavy. You know when he had the 96-mile-an-hour heater. Doesn't possess that anymore. So now you would think that he would pitch in his spots
Well, we talked to Ron Gardenhire and Robin Ventura about that. And they said this guy is a guy that will adjust to the stuff he has. And it's usually the first 2 or 3 innings you'll find out what Peavy has or he doesn't have.
Swung on and missed, strike 3.
Pretty good fastball right there.
He gave him a high, hard one. And that ends the first inning for Minnesota as the White Sox come to bat. By Taco Bell, sometimes you've got to live Moss. Alejandro De Aza leading it off. Rios having a terrific season, had a great spring. And Adam Dunn struggling. They have moved Dunn and Kennard go back and forth from DH to first base to try to get him going. And you see Jordan Danks getting the opportunity to start at center field with the injury to Viciedo. Vance Worley, right-hand pitcher with a 1-2 record. You see his ERA, not very enlightening, but last start was the 12th. He only went 1 inning and gave up 7 hits and 9 runs, 7 earned.
Yeah, that was his shortest outing of his career. So Worley made some adjustments in his rotation. The Twins that hope that here this afternoon he can do a better job of that. He's making his first career start against the White Sox, and this being his 50th major league start, has 18 major league wins. Very good ERA in his career at 3.79.
Pitch to De Aza, fouled away. Worley traded from Philadelphia in the Ben Revere trade. 11 months ago, he had a surgically repaired right elbow.
Yeah, and Worley, you know, there are some pitchers on the club, and we'll go over that about the Twins a little bit later about, guys coming off injuries. But if you follow the Twins the last 2 years, they need starting pitching. And Worley was traded over. He was also traded over with a youngster named Trevor May that his future looks pretty good in the Twins organization. They need pitching help in the minor leagues. But Worley is at the major leagues. He's a major league pitcher, and hopefully making his first major league start can do exactly what...
Deep to right field, to the wall, gone!
I was going to say he would do exactly what the Twins want him to do, and Peavy does his attack, but right there, De Aza hitting his 4th home run of the year and the 20th for the White Sox. They can hit home runs. Yeah, first home run that Vance Worley has allowed this year. Ball left middle in. And this is what you want your leadoff hitter to do. Put yourself on the board early. And that ball right into that swing zone of De Aza. He hits it over the right field fence.
No doubt. So Worley gives up the homer on the first batter, and the pitch to Keppinger is in for a strike. Keppinger, at 32 years of age, from Miami, Florida, signed as a free agent from Tampa Bay. He's been around, though, with Kansas City, Cincinnati, Houston, San Francisco, and the Mets. Pitch catches the inside corner, strike two.
Yeah, Keppinger, as you mentioned, Howard, in his first season with the White Sox, a career .288 hitter. Last year with the Rays, hit .325 in 115 ball games.
Pitch to Keppinger, catches the outside corner, and he's punched out by C.B. Buckner.
Well, Worley picking up his first strikeout, going outer half of the plate. Mauer sitting away. And a good pitch right there, says C.B. Buckner.
So Worley, after giving up the leadoff home run to Diaza, his fourth home run in 16 games, hits Keppinger on strikes. That brings up Alex Rios. Inside corner, delivered by Worley for a strike. Alex Rios, 6'5", 210 pounds of power. 6 years with Toronto, made the All-Star team in 2007. Pitch misses inside.
Yeah, Rios in his 5th season with the White Sox came over here. Toronto was kind of wanting to dump some salary, and the White Sox ended up saying, hey, we'll take him. First couple years, not so good for Rios, but he's coming off a great year.
Pounded on the ground to short. Florimon across the diamond for the out. Today's Twins defensive lineup brought to you by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. You see Hicks at center field. They brought him up from Double-A, struggling with the bat, but not with the glove. And the rest of the infield, Morneau, Dozier, Florimon, and Clute. Mauer, the catcher, Parmelee, Hicks, I mentioned, and Willingham around the outfield from right to left.
A big shift put on for Adam Dunn as he shortstop Florimon is now playing around second base.
Dunn having a woeful beginning. He has been struggling, and that's an understatement, with 6 hits and 57 trips.
But when he makes contact, that ball can fly off of that bat. 41 home runs last year. It's a big swing by Adam Dunn. Hey, you're saying the size of Rios at 6'5", Dunn at 6'6", about 285. This is a big man. A lot of home runs in his career. 408 major league home runs.
Pitch down low. He led the American League last year with walks with 105, but he also led the American League with strikeouts at 222.
Yeah, that's nothing for Adam Dunn. He led the National League in strikeouts 3 times, so it's kind of a swing and miss type of at-bat for Adam Dunn every time he's up there.
Pitch up and away. Count goes to 3-1 on Dunn. Vance Worley gave up the leadoff home run to Alejandro Diaza. Struck out Keppinger, got Rios on a ground out, and now trying to get out of this inning without any more damage. Pitch catches the outside corner. Off-speed pitch, and the count goes full at 3-2.
Well, what the White Sox will see from Vance Worley is a sinking fastball when he's on. You'll get ground ball outs, a slider, occasional curveball, and then that changeup. And there's another pitch.
Great pitch.
Up his second strikeout.
Great pitch by Worley. Caught the outside corner as we have completed 1. And Diaza has put the walk on the board. Sponsored by Ford. Only Ford gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Jake Peavy settles into his second inning work. First pitch is a strike. On the way to Trevor Plouffe, the third baseman of the Twins, hitting at 227, as you see, with a couple of home runs. Pitch is in for a strike, and Peavy gets out in front. The White Sox had the lead in the AL Central for much of last year. Down the stretch, things just kind of fell apart.
Well, it usually comes down to starting pitching, and their starting pitching was not all that well. And Trevor Plouffe takes 3 pitches right down the middle and a strikeout victim.
Second strikeout for Peavy. Oswaldo Arcia, and you see the pitching coach of the Chicago White Sox. That would be Don Cooper, who we spoke with him before the ball game. He's a happy man right now. He's healthy, had stomach trouble that kept him out of action for about 10 days.
Yeah, put him in a hospital when they started that last road trip, and it's a bad road trip for the White Sox. They were 3-7. Cooper in the hospital, and good to be back. He said, you know what, for the last 5 days, I just wanted somebody to coach. So Don Cooper, good to be back.
First pitch to Arcia is in for a strike. Fouled off at home plate. White Sox last playoff appearance 2008, when they won the AL Central by 1 game over the Minnesota Twins. Arcia the other day, his first at bat, got a base hit, and then the next day was sent down, and then they had to recall him back.
Yeah, Wilton Ramirez was on paternity leave. Arcia had a chance to come up, got that first hit. And boy, he's swinging at that, boys.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Peavy. He has struck out 3 in a row of the Minnesota Twins lineup. Peavy's thrown 9 straight strikes.
Well, it looks like C.B. Buckner, that ball coming back over the plate. He's got an early dinner date right there. That ball a little bit high, but be swinging the bat, boys. 3 strikeouts for Peavy.
That brings up Aaron Hicks, 24-year-old from San Pedro, California. Very slow start. Matter of fact, in one spring training game, he had 3 home runs. As he looks at his strikes, 7 straight strikes thrown by Jake Peavy.
Well, like I said, Peavy does a good job of attacking. Aaron Hicks just 2 hits in 45 major league at-bats.
And the pitch is in for a strike. I remember a pitching coach told me a long time ago in high school, he said, just throw strikes. Trust your defense.
Well, when you strike out the first 2 guys, you don't need defense.
Here's the 0-2, and it's hit the center field. Coming in on it and almost making a big error there was Jordan Danks, who misjudged it off the bat. And so Peavy goes 3 up, 3 down in the second. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Paul Konerko will lead it off for the Chicago White Sox. Here on the bottom of the second, the Sox on top thanks to a Alejandro De Aza home run in the first inning off Vance Worley. Konerko, 37 years of age, from Providence, Rhode Island, team captain of the White Sox.
He's been a White Sox a long time. 15th season with the Chicago White Sox. First came up with the Dodgers, then to the Reds, and then now a home here in Chicago.
The only remaining player from the 2005 World Series White Sox team. And Worley ready to deal. In for a strike.
Worley, just 25 years old, signed by the Phillies in 2008. Came up with them in 2010. Again, making his 50th Major League start.
0-1 outside to Konerko. Konerko, a 6-time All-Star. Passed Frank Thomas this year on the White Sox all-time hits list for third place behind the great Nellie Fox and Luke Apley. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball down low. A far cry. The 2005 team, as you see the numbers on Konerko and where he stands in the all-time White Sox list.
He had some home runs before he got here. 425 career home runs for Paul Konerko. And this guy has 48 home runs against the Minnesota Twins. Of course, they play each other 18 times usually. Now it's 19 times.
The 2-1 is fouled hard down the left field line. I started to mention before the 2005 White Sox World Series team, a far cry from the Go-Go Sox of 1960. The last time prior to that they had gone to the World Series. They lost that series to the Dodgers, but then again the Dodgers had a couple of guys named Koufax and Drysdale.
They will do it to you.
Short fly ball to right field and handled by Parmelee. Ford go further. Keys to the game. Here's today's Ford's keys to the game.
The keys for the Minnesota Twins at starting pitching, something that they have to improve. Last couple years have been frustrating years for Ron Gardenhire and the Twins organization. And one thing that Robin Ventura told us before the ball game, Howard, was that he expects better defense. For them to stay in the race and catch the Tigers, everybody is looking at the Detroit Tigers, they have to have better defense.
Connor Gillespie stands in and Worley delivers a strike. If you just tuned in, Alejandro De Aza has accounted for the only run of the game, a home run to lead it off for Chicago in the first.
Gillespie in his first season with the White Sox, coming over from the Giant organization.
Pitch inside and low. Connor Gillespie getting the start today at third base. Keppinger moved over to second base with the injury to Gordon Beckman. Beckham out for a sizable period of time. Pitch up high and away. Fractured wrist had to be repaired for Beckham.
I think the White Sox were hoping that Brent Morrow would take over at third base. There's Robin Ventura right there, a former Gold Glove winner, so he knows what third base is all about.
Pitch out of the strike zone. The count goes to 3-1. Robin Ventura. If I give you the names Lou Gehrig, Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Eddie Murray, and Robin Ventura, which doesn't belong?
Lou Gehrig. No.
Pitch foul down the third base line, out of play.
I know where you're going with that, with grand slams.
Right. Most grand slam. He's fifth all time, Robin Ventura.
Yeah, 6-time Gold Glove winner, Robin Ventura. So, yeah, I mean, he has no managerial experience other than what he got last year. Talking to him, he loves the game of baseball. He's been around the game, but he wasn't a minor league manager before he got the job here in Chicago.
And he gets punched out. Connor Gillespie does. Lowe's Never Stop Improving Game Break out of town. Now it's time for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving Game Break. Here's Matt Bastianich.
Howard and Bert, the Red Sox first game back at Fenway since their Patriots Day game shortly before the bombing at the Marathon on Monday. David Ortiz tying the ball game in the middle innings. However, since then, Santiago Perez has tripled in the go-ahead run for Kansas City. 2-1 Royals in the 7th. And by the way, your audience will go back to Boston for Sweet Caroline a little bit later on in the afternoon. Back to you guys, Howard and Bert.
Thanks, Matt. Watched the ceremonies earlier today in Boston. Very, very heart-wrenching.
Yes, it was. And great job by the police force, the FBI, everybody involved in that manhunt.
Alexei Ramirez swings and misses. The count goes 0-2.
You know, it just showed Boston and Kansas City, two clubs that are off to a pretty good start. Kansas City 8-6, Boston 11-4, off to a very good start under manager Johnny Farrell.
Pitch down low. Alexei Ramirez, 31 years of age, actually defected from Cuba, lives in Miami now. Finished second to Evan Longoria for Rookie of the Year honors. Down the pitch, hit right back up the middle for a base hit. There have been a lot of tributes to Boston around baseball all week. Many players offered their thoughts and prayers on Twitter. Here in Chicago, the Chicago Tribune sports page honored the Boston area team. And in the Bronx, the Yankees paid tribute to their bitter rival Red Sox with the fans singing Sweet Caroline like they do at Fenway. Great job. Jordan Danks steps in, pitch up high. Only a couple of games for Danks, getting the start today in center field for the White Sox.
Yeah, he just got called up on the 17th. Danks last year played for the White Sox in 50 ball games, but hit only .224.
2 out, 1 on. Ramirez at first. Worley gives him the eye, now delivers to the plate, and it's fouled back to the screen.
Jordan Danks, the younger brother of John Danks, who's currently on a disabled list and rehabbing for the Chicago White Sox, a left-handed pitcher. Had that left shoulder surgery August of last year. They're hoping to get John Danks back in that rotation around the All-Star break.
Worley set. Pitch inside. Count goes to 2-1. 1-0 White Sox. Thanks to a Piazza home run leading it off in the first. There's the factual information on Jordan Danks. Worley looks at Ramirez. Not a big lead. Pitches outside. And the count goes to 3-1. Here's Worley's pitch, catches the outside corner, and the count goes full at 3-2. So Ramirez will be off and running.
Yeah, there's been 6 strikeouts already in this ball game. So if you're a hitter, you have to watch and say, you know what, C.B. Buckner back there, he's calling strikes. So to take a close pitch like Danks did right there, got to be swinging a bat. And it'll be the same thing on this pitch.
Count full, Ramirez off, and it's hit in the air to deep shortstop, and gathered in for Pedro Florimon. Chris Sale of the Chicago White Sox will join us in the next inning here from Chicago. Florimone steps in for the Minnesota Twins to lead it off here in the third. And Jake Peavy, who's been on target so far.
Well, their last 13 pitches have found its way over the plate. 13 straight strikes for Jake Peavy. 31 so far in the ball game.
Pitch swung on and missed, and he goes ahead.
He's a machine. He's a machine. Put a quarter in him. My goodness, nothing but strikes.
Peavy way ahead of Florimone. Pitch catches the inside corner, strike 3.
And strikeout number 4.
Jake Peavy on target as we bring in Chris Sale, who pitched Thursday night for the Chicago White Sox in the loss at Toronto. Chris, as a pitcher, I mean, you went 7 innings and pitched pretty well, struck out 6. But even you had to be in awe of the way R.A. Dickey was in command of that game.
Yeah, I mean, that was some nasty stuff he was throwing up there. I actually caught a glimpse of it, ran to the restroom, and watched him throw a few of those from the on TV. And just the way that ball was dancing, there's no telling what it's going to do.
Yeah, as a pitcher, thank God for the DH.
Oh man, I'm glad I didn't have to face that.
Hey, Chris, when you watch a young guy like Jake Peavy go about his business, your last year was kind of your first full season. Won 17 ball games, had a great year. You learn a lot from him.
Absolutely. Not only just the game of baseball, going out there and pitching and doing everything you can, but just kind of the mental side and what goes into pitching. It's more than just rolling out of bed every 5th day and going out there and pitching. There's a lot of work and a lot of time and effort that goes into it, and it's the little things that get you to where you want to go.
Hey Chris, I got to tell you, I don't know if you've been watching Jake Peavy, but he just threw a ball on the outside that broke a string of 18 consecutive strikes he had thrown.
Yeah, I was aware of that. That's pretty impressive. That's who he is, though. He's a competitor. He's coming right at you. Everything he's got against everything you got. And he's a great guy to have in the clubhouse, and I'm very fortunate to be able to learn from him and have him at my side.
Hey Jake, I know you're from Lakeland, Florida. You went to Florida Gulf Coast University, where I grew up. I grew up right there, live in Fort Myers, but. Tell us a little bit about that program, because you guys just became a Division I, 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's a newer, smaller school. Like you said, we just went Division I. My first year there was our first year as a Division I school in the ASUN Conference. Big things going on down there. It's a great campus, great location. My wife and I, we met there, and I moved 25 miles south of there to kind of make sure none of those guys get too out of hand.
Hey Chris, how about their basketball team?
How about it? Dunk City. That's that was so much fun to watch.
There's a seeing eye base hit to left off the bat of Dozier.
But yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. It brought fun and excitement down to that community and to that school, and it's a very deserving program, and I don't see anything but great things coming in the future.
Here's the 3 things we already talked about. Florida Gulf Coast, but you ended your first game in Tampa Bay with Devil Rays as a 9-year-old.
Yeah, my Uncle Robert took me to that game. What fun time that was. The new stadium, the new team coming in, and obviously myself being a baseball guy and growing up playing baseball, I had a blast. I still have my Rays jersey at the house that might still fit me, actually. But I had to get that because I got a little mustard on my shirt about the 4th inning.
A lot of people look at your delivery and what you've been able to accomplish. They say, boy, it could be the next Randy Johnson. Did you take anything watching Randy Johnson pitch as a youngster growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed every time I got to see him throw the ball. Still to this day, I'll hop on YouTube and watch a highlight reel of what he's done. I mean, you really can't put into words what he did on a baseball field. It was unbelievable. It was great. Unbelievable competitor. Big, tall guy, threw hard, and that's kind of what I want to do is leave everything out on the field, compete as hard as I can compete, and everything else will fall into place.
Yeah, how about Lakeland, Florida guy dealing with his cold weather?
Yeah, 49 degrees it says. I don't really believe that, but yeah, we don't get that too often down there.
Well, I know that Don Cooper, really likes your work habit, and even though you lost the ball game the other day, as Howard mentioned to R.A. Dickey and the Blue Jays, you go about your business. I mean, you get upset, don't you, about losing a ball game?
Yeah, I mean, you put so much time and effort into the 4 days in between, and these guys are coming out and every day and playing their hearts out, and every time you take the mound, especially as a starter, you get basically once a week to go out there and prove yourself, and it's a long 4 days in between when it doesn't go right, and these last couple of times I feel like I've been waiting 8 days to get out there. I mean, just can't wait to get back out there again.
Chris Sale joining us here in Chicago. The White Sox with a 1-0 lead, but Peavy with a runner on first and 1 out against Joe Mauer, who had a base hit in the first inning. Pitch catches the outside corner, and it's 3-2. Hey, Chris, thanks much for your time, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, good luck, Chris.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate having me.
Left-hand pitcher Chris Sale of the Chicago White Sox. Engaging young man.
Very nice. And I wanted to bring that up about what Don Cooper told me about him, and even Robin Ventura, that you watch a mannerism of a young man. Chris Sale, only 24 years old. You can watch him go about his business. He expects a lot out of himself, and that's a good thing. That he's probably watching Jake Peavy. He wants to be the ace of the ball club, but then you watch a guy like Jake Peavy go about his business, you learn a lot.
Well, Dozier was running on the pitch, and Mauer took ball 4 outside. So now runners at first and second, 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning for the Minnesota Twins, facing Jake Peavy and Josh Willingham, who went into a fielder's choice his first time up in the 1st inning.
Now Willingham still trying to figure out Jake Peavy. 0 for 16 lifetime against Peavy. And Peavy, if you're a pitcher right here, all you're thinking is keep the ball down, get that ground ball. He got the ground ball off the bat of Willingham in the 1st inning, but Peavy, with the help of Keppinger, got the force out at second base of Joe Mauer.
Peavy gets ahead of Willingham, 0-1. Runners lead off. Pitch a little bit up high. Evens the count at 1-1. White Sox last year, 85-77, 3 games behind Detroit in the AL Central, and it was their division to win last year. They just went into a slump at the wrong time. Hit to short, diving stop, unable to convert, base hit, and a run will score. Dozier comes to the plate with the first Twins run, and we are tied at 1.
And finally, Josh Willingham says, hey, this guy isn't that tough to hit. He picks up an RBI, his 6th of the year. Peavy did get the ground ball, but it's more up the middle. Ramirez dove for it, tried to knock it down to maybe keep Dozier from scoring, but the ball just out of his reach. Willingham hitting it sharply. Ramirez could not get to it, and Dozier scores to tie the game.
Second time through the lineup, all 3 Twins have reached base. Swinging and missing is Chris Parmelee. I stand corrected, Justin Morneau. How could I mistake the 2?
Well, they both play first base, just so Parmelee's out and right.
Now that puts Peavy ahead 0-1, running into some trouble here in the 3rd inning. Score tied at 1, as you see in the upper left-hand corner, and Peavy now trying to bear down on Morneau. Now the pitch inside. So Justin Morneau, even at the count, 1-1. Runners lead off first and second, and 1 out. The pitch misses wide to the outside.
Jake Peavy making his 286th major league start. He has 122 major league wins.
And the right-hander set. Misses the outside corner, and Peavy falls behind 3-1. Well, after a 1-2-3 inning in the second, Peavy running into a jam here in the 3rd. Morneau with a couple of injury-riddled seasons. Last year he played 134 games. His whole goal is to stay on the field. And the 3-1. Hit in the air, a high, towering pop. Back a second.
Infield fly rule called right there. Peavy taking a little off that pitch, getting that pop-up.
Tonight, UFC returns to Fox as lightweight champion Benson Henderson puts his title on the line against top contender Gilbert Melendez, highlighting a full night of epic fights. Henderson versus Melendez for the lightweight title. Fox UFC Saturday is live and free beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. I could see you as a UFC fighter years ago.
Yeah, but with my brothers and sisters, yes. More my sisters than my brothers. I could beat them up.
Sure.
Well, barely.
Chris Parmelee steps in, struck out his first time. Peavy trying to work out of a jam. Pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Count even at 1-1. Jake Peavy 2-1 on the year with an ERA of 3.93. Last Sunday, his last outing, he beat Cleveland 3-1.
Yeah, longest outing for Peavy so far this year. The 7 innings only allowed 1 run to the Indians.
Peavy set, swung and foul back by Parmelee. Parmelee from Long Beach, California, as he faces Jake Peavy. Would you say that he is, I know Chris Sale would like to be, but is Jake Peavy the ace of the staff right now?
Well, I think you have 2 aces. You know, you have a young guy that's 24 years old. Peavy at 31, little more experience. Again, you know, only maybe 30, 40 starts for Chris Sale and almost 300 starts for Peavy.
Swung on and missed by Parmelee, and he struck him out. Peavy, outstanding performance there. We'll be going to Boston shortly. Stay with us on Fox. Punched in a run on Jake Peavy, and there you see we are even at 1 heading to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Tyler Flowers, the bottom of the order, then Alejandro De Asa and Jeff Keppinger to face Vance Worley of the Minnesota Twins. Tyler Flowers, his first appearance, hitting .205 with 3 home runs. And Worley ready to work. Catches the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, Flowers, 27 years old. This is his 5th season with the White Sox because he was always kind of the backup catcher to A.J. Pierzynski. A.J. Pierzynski now the catcher for the Texas Rangers. So Flowers getting the opportunity. He has some power. You mentioned 3 home runs, but the biggest thing, can he hit big league pitching on a everyday basis? And time will tell for the White Sox and Tyler Flowers.
Big shoes to fill. Mitch a little bit low.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they let AJ go. He was a free agent once before. He signed a 2-year contract with the Chicago White Sox. But a lot of people may have bad things to say about AJ. But personally, I like the way he handled pitching staffs. The guy was a .280 career hitter. Never hurt. But they went another direction here in Chicago.
Flowers was in a 1-for-28 slump until Wednesday when he hit a 3-run home run. And the White Sox win 7-0. Here's the 3-1. Too low. Ball 4, and Flowers gets a pass.
Yeah, you don't like walking that leadoff hitter, especially a guy hitting that is at .205 and hitting 9th in the lineup for a reason.
Now, you would never, of course, you pitched against the pitcher in the 9th spot.
Oh, no, I pitched against a designated hitter, too. But, no, that's kind of a pitcher's sin, I guess, of walking that leadoff hitter, especially someone in the lower part of the lineup.
Alejandro De Aza, who put it over the wall in right field his first time up in the first inning. And Worley now working out of the stretch. Up high, ball, actually, it's in for a strike.
Yeah, De Aza in his 4th season with the White Sox, coming over from the Florida Marlins. He's always been a very good career hitter, guy that you want to keep off the bases, good speed, surprising power. Already with 4 home runs this year. He hit 9 all of last year in 131 ball games for the White Sox.
Pitch catches the outside corner. He comes off. De Aza does. 2012 was his best year. Now let's take you out to a special scene at Fenway Park in Boston for Sweet Caroline at Fenway.
For Sweet Caroline. And look who's come out to do it.
On his own and express his love to the people of this city. Today, in person, would you please welcome Mr. Neil Diamond.
Thank you, Boston. What an honor it is for me to be here today. I bring love from the whole country. Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Look in the night, with only two. And when I hurt, it runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when I'm here with you? Warm, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh, no, no. All right, we're coming to the last chorus. Need to hear everybody singing. Are you ready? Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Yes! Thank you, everybody! Thank you!
A great moment in Boston, and a Hall of Fame singer named Neil Diamond, who recorded Sweet Caroline several years ago. A great job by Diamond, a great job by the city of Boston, and we're happy to present it to you on Fox.
Yeah, God bless America. I'll tell you what, unbelievable.
Flag at half-staff, as you see, to support the city of Boston here in Chicago. Runners at first and second, 2 out. And Adam Dunn hits one back to the screen. Here's what we missed. First, Alejandro Diaz struck out. And then Keppinger with a runner on first, lofted one to center field. Aaron Hicks misplayed the fly ball. He thought he went back on it, then came forward. It dropped in front of him, but he got a forced play at second.
I thought that Hicks made a great deke on Flowers, who does not have good speed. The ball, Keppinger, this is a base hit right here. You see Hicks coming in, look like he's going to catch it, and then gets the force out at second base. Not too many times you will see an 8-4 put out. But Hicks, I thought he did a good job of deking Flowers, and Flowers not the quickest anyway, but Worley works out of it.
And Van Swirly gets Adam Dunn for his 5th strikeout. could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Jake Peavy, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, similar to his opponent. Vance Worley also with 5 Ks and 2 walks.
I said in the first inning, Howard, you better be swinging a bat. There's been 10 strikeouts, 8 called third strikes. So C.V. Buckner has been doing a lot of that right there. The right hand up for strike.
Trevor Plouffe, speaking of strikeouts, has 1 of the 5 registered by Peavy. That in the second inning. And the pitch catches the outside corner. Peavy has been painting the black.
Well, Plouffe didn't like that call right there, but you see again the movement of that fastball from Peavy, working outer half of the plate and then clipping the corner. Gotta love an umpire like C.V. Buckner. Oh, how can he miss that? Come on.
Outside the strike zone.
How can someone behind home plate say, come on, Ump? When he's been calling almost everything, that a little bit off the plate.
Down the pitch.
But that one
is a strike. I don't think that Plouffe's got a leg to stand on. Tomorrow's Sprint Cup Series racing continues on Fox as Daytona 500 champion Jimmy Johnson will look for his 3rd career victory in Kansas. Fox Sports coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing and the STP 400 begins tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Doesn't make any. Hey, hello.
Gotta love that jersey and a beer in his hand. I thought that was me for a second.
Yeah. And you couldn't be in 2 places at the same time now, could you? As good as you were. Oswaldo Arcia comes in. He struck out in the second. Swings and misses, although he might have got a piece of that one. Oswaldo Arcia was probably a little, hard to imagine. He gets a hit, and then the next day they say, thank you very much for the hit, Oswaldo, and they send him down, and then they bring him back up the next day.
Yeah, Darren Mastroianni, another outfielder, he ended up hurting his ankle again, re-injuring his ankle, so Arcia getting another call-up. But just 21 years old, Arcia from Venezuela.
And the pitch, and he swings it up high out of the strike zone for the 7th strikeout, registered by Jake Peavy.
And only the 3rd swinging strikeout for either pitcher. Peavy going up the ladder with that moving fastball, and Arcia swinging through it, and he strikes out for the 2nd time.
So Jake Peavy now faces Aaron Hicks, who's had his difficulties in the early part of the season getting untracked. Hicks went right to short. Ramirez crossed the diamond in time. 3 up, 3 down for the Twins as we remain tied.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Very good, thank you.
Doing great, Mike.
Thank you.
Cold enough for you?
Yeah.
Relay. 1-1 the score as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Vance Worley, who has struck out 5 and walked 2. All 5 strikeouts, by the way, looking. Paul Konerko steps in for the Chicago White Sox and welcome in Mike Pelfrey from the Minnesota dugout. Mike, Howard, David, Bert Blyleven, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Doing great as Konerko looks at the strike on the outside. So Tuesday, you post a win against the Angels, and now you're reckoned at 2-1. Good outing, although you went 5 innings. That was plenty.
Yeah, luckily they, the offense, was swinging the bat well that day, and they were able to put some runs on the board. And I think the most disappointing, I don't think I threw great that day by any means, but every time they got a lead, they gave it like 3 in the third, and I gave it right back. Then they got another in the fourth, and then I gave that back. But luckily they just kept tacking them on. So the offense definitely helped me that day, and the bullpen came in, and they were great.
Hey, Mike, the Twins have gone through some bad weather here early in the season. 3 rainouts, cold outs, whatever you want to call it, but it's pushed everybody back into rotation. How does a starter prepare? I know you've been pushed back a couple days. How are you preparing for your next start?
I think you just have to, it is what it is. I don't think you can, necessarily change that. And, you just try to arrange your, bullpen, to make it as normal as possible. Maybe you do a little more, maybe you'll throw 2 bullpens or, do an extra lift. But I think it is what it is. You can't really change it. I know Vance is out here pitching, and, I couldn't imagine trying to, get ready for the game on Wednesday, get that canceled, and then, same thing yesterday, have that canceled. So he's going on 3 extra days, and so it's pretty tough.
In this cold weather, how does a pitcher, and a lot of fans are watching, the cold weather that the Twins have had to go through, Chicago's had to go through that. Very cold here this afternoon, cold breeze. How do you stay warm out there?
Well, I like to think that you're the pitcher's the warmest guy on the field. And I think that, the cold, I think you can deal with the cold. But the wind, I think, is what is the toughest part. I think that makes the ball really, really slick. So you see, guys go to the mouth a lot, or chew bubble gum or something, trying to get a grip on the ball. But I think when you're out there moving around, I think you're a lot warmer than guys standing around the outfield or something like that.
Konerko hits a slow roll at a third. Throw across the diamond in time. Nice scoop by Justin Morneau to haul it in.
Hey, Mike, you're coming off the Tommy John surgery you had early May of last year. How is that elbow responding?
It's great. I've been blessed through the whole process. Everything's gone great, and I've kind of pushed it, to the limits, through the whole process. And luckily through the whole thing, I haven't had any pains or any kind of setbacks. So. Like I said, I've been blessed the whole process, but, I put a lot of work into it, and, it's paid off.
Mike, let me ask you about the difference in market size. You pitch for the Mets in a big market like New York. You go to a smaller market in Minnesota. What's the difference in your mind?
Well, at least I haven't been crucified in the media yet in Minnesota. Coming into, Minnesota, from New York, there's only 4 guys in the clubhouse where, in New York there was 30, and I felt like in New York they always tried to stir the pot a little bit and try to get something out of you, but it's not like that in Minnesota, and it's kind of a relief, and it's kind of refreshing.
Boy, I just saw a nice defensive play by Trevor Plouffe for the second out.
Hey, 2 great defensive plays.
Yeah, look at him diving to his right there, gets up quickly, got that ball over to Morneau very quickly.
Headed up the middle. Nice play by Florimon. Cross the diamond in time. Mike, thanks very much for your time.
Hey, thank you guys. Take care.
Stay warm.
Mike Pelfrey of the Minnesota Twins. We are tied at 1 through 4. so far with 7 strikeouts. Florimon trying to butt his way on, and Peavy gathers it in.
Well, one thing that Jake Peavy has done, and I use that word again, attack. Boy, he's been attacking from the first inning on. Florimon trying to take the ball down with him, try maybe take it down that first baseline. Instead, he pops it up, and Peavy making the put-out catch.
By the way, as if you needed that to identify it, Jake Peavy was a Gold Glove winner last year.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's coming off a very good outing. You mentioned it earlier, Howard, in that Cleveland outing. He had 11 strikeouts in the 7 innings. So far, 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings. Look at that, ahead in the count on 9 of the 18 batters he's faced. And another strike 1.
Brian Dozier 1 for 2 so far. Got a base hit in the 3rd inning.
It's not only getting strike 1, it's going 0-2 on that hitter.
Dozier part of that effort to put across a run on Peavy.
Look at 21 in the first, and then a couple 9s. That 3rd inning was his longest inning, 29 pitches, 70 total.
Well, Worley last inning had a 9-pitch inning. Dozier trying to, oh, this is an excellent bunt down the 3rd base line. And having nowhere to go, Conor Gillaspie just let it roll.
Well, not much Gillaspie could do about that. Dozier, one of the better bunters on that ball club. We just saw Florimon try to bunt on Peavy. That's a perfect bunt down that 3rd baseline with Gillaspie playing back.
So now with a runner at first and 1 out, Joe Mauer steps in. Walk and a base hit in the 1st inning. But Mauer's 2 trips. Runner off, and with the hit and run on, here's the play to first in time, but Dozier advancing to 2nd.
Yeah, I think Joe right there, he wanted to hit that ball between 3rd and short. Instead, it got right up the middle. And with Dozier taking off. See, Ramirez has to cut in on the infield grass to get that ball. So Dozier at 2nd base with 2 outs.
So that's the 2nd out of the inning as Josh Willingham steps in. He is 1 for 2. And Peavy set, pitch outside.
Yeah, Willingham in his last at bat picked up the only run for the Twins so far on that RBI single. His first career hit against Jake Peavy in 18 at bats.
And Willingham steps out. Both pitchers have been pretty sharp.
Willingham's been a nice find for the Twins, signing a 3-year contract as a free agent coming over from Oakland. We mentioned the 35 home runs hit last year, 64 home runs over the last 2 years. So a guy that's really come into his own. He came up with the Marlins, spent time with the Nationals, and then 1 season with Oakland, and then signed with the Minnesota Twins.
All singles for the Twins so far, 4 base hits. Here's the 2-0. Inside, count goes to 3-0 on Josh Willingham. Willingham off an outstanding year last year.
Well, Willingham will have the green light here if it's a pitch to his liking.
Deep down the left field line, but hooking foul.
And he had the green light. It ball just came running in on him. He pulled it foul. Watch the movement again of Peavy. I don't think he can throw a straight pitch. Everything has some movement. Fastballs always run in on right-handers. Slider away. Changeup.
Dozier at 2nd, 2 out. The pitch sit for a strike.
Saw the previous 3-0 pitch fastball in that had some movement. That right there, fastball away, just caught the corner.
Willingham has been with Florida. He's been with Washington, Oakland. And now in his second year with the Twins. Peavy set to deliver the full count pitch. Misses outside. And Josh Willingham will go to first base. Runners at first and second, and Justin Morneau strides to the plate.
Yeah, 3 walks for Peavy to go along with his 7 strikeouts, 77 pitches thrown. Excuse me, 78.
Twins had 3 days off this week. So what did you do?
Well, you waited for the next game.
Inside to Morneau.
It's not too often that there is snow in Minnesota in April, but I don't think they anticipated as much as there has been. Starting to warm up a little bit today.
Morneau on the nose, and a terrific play at second base by Keppinger to retire the side. Nice backhand stab by Keppinger. On Tuesday, the Fox Sports family and the entire sports world lost a broadcasting giant, Pat Summerall. Less is more approach allowed our imaginations to fill in the blanks. He was the voice that defined the NFL on television. Pat Summerall was 82 years of age. From his last start. Last start he went 1 inning. He's now into the bottom of the 5th here in Chicago. Stepping in for the White Sox, Jordan Danks popped out in the 2nd. And Worley ready to work. Ball 1. Worley has been sharp. I think it ain't so has Jake Peavy. Back to the screen. Off the bat of Jordan Danks. Count even to the ball and a strike. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, there really haven't been that many hard hit balls for either side. A lot of the base hits, other than the Diaz home run, all of them have been singles. Worley in his last inning, 3 ground ball outs. That's always good for a sinker ball pitcher. There's another ground ball out. This one to Dozier.
Today's game presented by the all-new 2014 Chevrolet Impala, which proudly supports the craft of baseball.
One thing that pitching coach Rick Anderson and bullpen, now new bullpen coach Bobby Cuellar, have been working with Worley on is trying to lift that leg up a little bit. They looked at some old film of Worley when he was with the Phillies and said, you know, what's the difference now compared to, say, you mentioned his last outing. He went into the second inning, but it was an ugly outing, as shortest of his career, when he gave up 7 earned runs against the Mets. There's Rick Anderson, the pitching coach for the Twins. They want him to bring that left leg up a little bit more, and he kind of went to his old style delivery. And what I mean by old style delivery, he was just kind of just lifting his leg up a little bit and not really having any type of body movement, where now he's kind of be over that pitching rubber and kind of stepping back to create a little more of that, get it to that balance point. How do I get to the balance point? That's what they saw when he was with the Phillies when he first came up in 2010.
Tyler Flowers came over from the Braves organization.
So a little more turn and then that high leg kick.
Flowers with a lazy fly, short center field, coming on, dropping in front of Aaron Hicks. Let's go to Matt Bastianich at the MLB Network studio for a game break. Matt?
Howard in Boston. Kelvin Herrera comes on from the Kansas City bullpen to protect the 1-run lead with 2 out in the 8th when Daniel Nava straightens him out. His 4th of the year, 3-run shot put the Red Sox up 4-2. However, Lorenzo Cain homered against Andrew Bailey in the 9th, and the Royals have 2 out in the 9th inning, down by a run. Back to Howard and Burton.
All right, Matt, here it is 1-1 in Chicago with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And Flowers, after reaching first on a base hit, Alejandro Diaz struck out his last trip. It's went into the seats down the left field line in the first inning. A bullet into the right field bullpen. As the game goes on, and the weather has gotten a little chillier, by the way, how does this affect the pitchers?
Well, you know, like Pelfrey said, you know, the pitchers are probably the warmest out there because they're always moving. What you want to do as a pitcher on a cold day is have a good tempo. Don't take a lot of time between pitches. Peavy does a good job of getting that ball and keeping his defense, you know, on their toes more or less than on their heels. You stand around too much as a pitcher, get that sign, let it go. You don't want your defensive players standing around too long.
Piazza foul back. Count remains at 0-2.
You know, a pitcher has an opportunity. You blow on your hands, you move around. The cold is there, but it really doesn't bother you as much as it's an outfielder. Everybody has their hand in their pocket trying to keep that right hand warm.
Worley pitched a game in Chicago 2 years ago when the temperature was 97 degrees.
He probably had sleeves on back then. He's got no sleeves here.
Here's the 0-2, misses up high.
That's exactly where Joe Mauer wanted that pitch. He wanted to see if Piazza would chase that high fastball.
Piazza with a home run, as we mentioned. That's the 6th time in 2 years that he's led off the game with a home run.
He's got surprising power for a guy that is not that big a guy. He kind of slouches over.
1-2, misses outside. Piazza was not happy with C.B. Buckner the last time up when he struck out looking.
Well, I don't think any hitter's happy at an umpire when you call your 3rd strike.
Tyler Flowers at first. 1 out. Pitch again, high and away. The count goes full at 3-2.
Well, Flowers not a lot of speed at first base. Joe McLuhan at 3rd base going through signs.
So we'll see if Flowers is off. He is. Pitch skied in the air down the left field line, trying to make a play. drops in front of Willingham. Starting Monday on the National Geographic Channel is a new series called Brain Games that will truly put your brain to the test. It's a roller coaster for your mind, filled with challenges and games that will boggle and amaze you. It's Brain Game, premiering this Monday on the National Geographic Channel. Any interest? As a participant?
First you need a brain to play that game. See if they send Flowers again here. He left on the last 3-2 pitch.
This will be the 8th pitch in this at bat for Diaza. As you're watching on television, you see the beautiful sunshine, but the temperatures have dropped to below 40s. Flowers goes, and a swinging strike. Diaza strikes out, and it's punch him out, knock him out. A double play. And the score remains at 1 apiece.
Well, pretty good pitchers duel here.
Both pitchers have had command. Both pitchers have worn out the other side. Each pitcher has had 2 3-and-out innings.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. Attack the strike zone. Both these pitchers have really done a very, very good job of that here this afternoon, especially on a cool, windy day here in Chicago.
Chris Parmelee steps in for the Minnesota Twins, top of the 6th. Takes a pitch in there for a strike.
Parmelee has gone down swinging in his both at bats, so he should look for a pitch early against Peavy and hopefully hit it hard somewhere.
And now he falls behind. Correction, they called that a strike. I call that a ball. Buckner's call was a ball. Looked like it might have been in, but I'm not the umpire.
Anything close. I'll be the umpire up here.
Hit in the air, a lazy fly ball in a gap, and it's going to fall in. Parmelee on his way to second, and he's in with a double.
Boy, your typical left-handed swing right there. That ball down and in, and Parmelee getting good wood on it, hit the double. You know, I always say you don't want to pitch left-handers down and in because they like to do that. Exactly what Parmelee did. Parmelee, his first double of the year, Does have one home run coming earlier this year, but split the gap in right center. It's a leadoff double for Parmalee.
First extra base hit, except for the Diaz home run. For the second extra base hit, first for the Twins. At all singles. Stepping in is Trevor Plouffe. We'll see if he's going to try to lay one down to advance the runner.
What he has to do right here, Plouffe has seen, I think, 8 pitches now, and he has struck out twice. He needs to find a way to hit that ball to the right side of the field. You have to try to get Parmalee in a pitcher's duel like this over to third.
He is swinging. He fouls it off at the plate. Here's an interesting note. Parmalee, before Parmalee's double, he, Plouffe, and Arcia had 6 strikeouts between them.
Yeah. I think that's what Plouffe tried to do right here. Tried to wait back and right off the mask of Flower.
By the way, the extra base hit by Parmalee is the first extra base hit by the Twins since Tuesday.
Oh, that was her last game. Very good. You're right on top of it.
Oh, yes. All you need is a stat man. Here's Peavy's 1-1. Foul back.
And again, you see Plouffe trying to take that ball the other way, but now with 2 strikes, he pretty much has to try to just hit for himself.
Trevor Plouffe earned his way. No question about it. After years in the minors. Hit of the air. Backing up is Ramirez, and he gathers it in. The Orioles and the Diamondbacks are 2 teams that recently visited the MLB Fan Cave. Check out all the latest cave happenings at MLBFanCave.com. Follow at MLB Fan Cave on Twitter and like it on Facebook. Oswaldo Arcia steps in with 1 out and a runner at second. And it's hit out towards second. Keppinger in time to Konerko, and on the play, Chris Parmalee advances to third with 2 out.
There's that at bat by Plouffe. He does not advance Parmalee. You know, the infield may have had to come in that at bat. So many things change, and with 1 out, first pitch, Arcia hits that ground ball to second. Now Parmalee at third, but there's 2 outs. Those are the little things you have to do throughout a long season to start winning ball games. Twins come into this ball game 6 wins, 7 losses. Chicago 7-9. Well, talking to Robin Ventura, he was very, very happy to be off that road trip. 3-7 on that road trip.
Yeah, wasn't very kind to him. So Aaron Hicks with 2 outs. Ron Gardenhire, the manager of the Minnesota Twins, 16 years. And Peavy ready to go. This is the outside. Hicks, a guy that was brought up from Double-A. And you see the average, he's having troubles with the bat early on, and yet he had a pretty good spring.
Well, the day he hit the 3 home runs, they said the wind was blowing out pretty good when he got that ball up in the air. He has had a tough time really against big league pitching. A lot of times spring training. It's, you know, with the Twins having to trade Denard Span, Ben Revere, they went into spring training looking for someone to take charge. And it was Hicks that took charge in spring training. But it was just a matter of, okay, he had a good year in Double-A. Can he hit at the major league level? So far, 2 hits in 47 at-bats.
So Peavy ahead of the even on the count, 1-1 against Aaron Hicks. And I guess it's fair to say, it's probably obvious to say, that he is pressing a little bit.
Oh, of course, you get to that point, you know, now you start feeling for the ball. I talked to Tom Berdansky, the hitting coach for the Twins, about what Hicks is going through. You talk to Hicks, you don't see that he's 2 for 47. He's a good kid. He has a lot of confidence and ability, but when you get in that box right now, you're 23 years old trying to establish yourself at the major league level. Yeah, there's pressure. He's feeling it.
Well, he was asked the other day about...
And he'd be lying if he said he wasn't feeling it.
He said he's going to continue to play good defense and run the bases well. Hits will come. The pitch on the outside thrown by Peavy, and the count goes 3-1 on Aaron Hicks.
Well, you have to credit Ron Gardenhire and the club. They are not giving up on him. They're going to let him kind of hopefully work his way out of this. #1 pick by the Twins in 2008 out of Southern California.
So Jake Peavy with Parmalee on third delivers the 3-1. Off-speed pitch, and the count goes full.
So you don't see that in the minor leagues right there. A 3-1 breaking ball. Peavy didn't want to make a mistake, so he went to the breaking ball, took something off, and it's a strike. Minor leagues 3-1, you'll see a fastball a lot of times. Up here, these guys know how to pitch.
Jake Peavy looking to throw his 94th pitch of the game. Inside, and Aaron Hicks will take first. That'll bring up Pedro Florimon.
Well, he tried to change up right there, and Don Cooper going out to talk to his right-handed starter.
Celebrate the craft of baseball for your chance to win a Chevrolet Impala and a trip to the MLB All-Star Game. Visit ChevyBaseball.com. I did not want to go another step further, Bert, without mentioning we saw a tribute to the late Pat Summerall a little while ago. I spent Thanksgiving 2 years ago with Pat down in Dallas, and I found him to be one of the most engaging, self-deprecating people I've ever been around in my life. His career speaks volumes, and yet he spoke much less than volumes.
Well, anytime we lose somebody like that, you know, of course, our thoughts and prayers are out to the Summerall family, but the legacy will live on forever.
Hicks draws the throw. So with Parmalee at third, Hicks at first, 2 out. Top of the 6th inning in a 1-1 game, and Pedro Florimon, who's had a pretty good season with the bat so far, and now in a run-producing situation. Hit in the air, short left field. Coming on, De Aza, and he gloves it. So that ends the top of the 6th inning, and we remain tied.
Baseball game break. Tigers and Angels in the afternoon couldn't have gotten off to a worse start for Rick Porcello. 9 earned in 2/3 of an inning. A big one here on Mike Trout's first career slam. Royals and Red Sox, an emotional ending to an emotional day as Andrew Bailey hung on for the save in the 9th. Boston wins its first game back at Fenway after a difficult week in the area. Back to Howard and Bert in Chicago.
You know, you hate to see the Kansas City Royals lose, but I'm happy for the Boston Red Sox and their fans and
yes,
the whole state of Massachusetts.
The future of this game is very bright. You saw Mike Trout with his first grand salami, and what about Bryce Harper in Washington?
There are some good young players that baseball needs to step up, and they have.
So we go to the bottom of the 6th in a 1-1 game, and the White Sox will set up numbers 2, 3, and 4, Keppinger, Rios, and Dunn, against Vance Worley, who has pitched very well.
Yeah, Keppinger really got robbed of a base hit in his last at bat when Flowers at first base. He hit a line drive to center that we showed you that Hicks kind of deked Flowers, and Flowers not the quickest, of a catcher. He got stuck between first and second, and Hicks threw that ball to second base for the force out. You do not see that often, an 8-4 put out.
And Keppinger has also flashed some great glove today as well. Popped up, straight back. Not close enough to Bert to reach out and try to grab the foul pop. You got to get one of those nets.
I need a mitt up here. Yeah, you mentioned Keppinger, a lot of different clubs, 7 different major league clubs that Keppinger has played for. The guy does not strike out. Always makes contact.
Shot to third. Kloof makes the play. Fox Sports sends our sympathies to everyone affected by this week's tragedies, both in Boston and West Texas. Please support OneFundBoston.org for those affected in Boston.
Going back to Keppinger, one more thing. He had only struck out 173 times in almost 25 plate appearances at the major league level. So the guy puts the ball in play.
Alex Rios, a walk and a ground out so far. Rios came in amongst the league leaders in several offensive categories.
Well, let's take a look at Vance Worley. Last inning I talked about Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, working with him and looking at old film on what they could do to get him back to getting that sinker down. Now, he's been getting some ground ball outs, and the biggest thing for Worley and what they're looking for out of the whole staff is consistency. Something that the Twins staff has not had a lot of over the last couple of years. So just a little mechanical thing, step back, over to the side, a little higher leg kick.
Pitch wide.
Let's take a look at it right here. He steps off to the side, balance point. That's right there. That's the balance point. And they say he wasn't bringing up that left knee very far, so gives him a little more opportunity.
Rios sends it back to the warning track, and Willingham flags it down.
You know, that breeze is blowing in from left field. That may have kept the ball in the ballpark. Rios gave it a ride, and the ball kind of hung up there, allowed Willingham to get underneath it for the second out. Probably the hardest hit ball since Diaz hit the home run in the first inning off of Worley.
So in steps Adam Dunn, who has struck out 22 times so far this year, twice in this game. It lifts this one high in the air and straight back.
I think I need my glove on that one.
That's a little closer to my side of the booth. A little closer. Never had great hands. Adam Dunn 0 for his last 27. The longest, actually ties the longest drought of his career.
Why, you know what? When you get Adam Dunn, and he's kind of, his career's been that way, he can carry a ball club, and then he can strike out a lot. He has that uppercut swing that you saw right there. 41 home runs last year for the White Sox. Even though he hit 204, he still drove in 96 runs.
He is built like a tight end or a defensive end in football. That's 6'6", 285. Here's the 0-2. This is the outside corner. Worley thought he got him.
Yeah, you can use the word monster for Adam Dunn. He's a big man. And again, when he makes contact, it goes a long way.
Yeah, chances are you don't find it.
No.
So we reset. Here's the 0-2 from Worley. This is hit on the ground out to second. They played the shift against him, and the shift works as they throw him out. Fox Saturday Baseball will return to Chicago after a word from your local Fox station. Chevrolet. Top of the order for Minnesota, Brian Dozier, who has gotten a couple of hits off of Jake Peavy.
Yeah, base hit between third and short. Then in the 5th inning, he bunted down that third baseline, got an infield base hit.
High and tight to Dozier. That's some activity in the Chicago White Sox bullpen. Donnie Veal starting to heat up.
Yeah, 95 pitches for Peavy coming into his 7th inning of work.
That's up high, and the count goes 2-0.
You know, in today's game, Howard, if you can get 7 innings out of your starter, that's kind of like a complete game in today's game, and that's what Peavy's trying to do for the 2nd straight time.
In there for a strike, 2-1. Actually a decent crowd when you consider the weather in Chicago right now. It's not that, I mean, it's in the low 40s. 22,417. Not bad.
Well, they love their baseball here in Chicago.
It's a great sports town. There's no two ways about it. The Blackhawks in hockey had a tremendous string early in the year. They're going to the playoffs. Chicago Bulls are in the playoffs. The White Sox trying to get back to the postseason. Just missed the outside corner, and the fans wanted that. And so did Peavy.
Well, the way C.B. Buckner has been calling strikes this afternoon as an umpire behind home plate, you would think that was a strike.
We'll pick on the umps now. Here's the full count. Swung on and missed. Strike 3.
And Peavy picks up his 8th strikeout, his first strikeout since the 4th inning.
Strikeout number 8. Now it's time for the Just for Men auto stop foolproof stat.
There's Peavy right there. I'm laughing only because I see Peavy talking to himself. That reminds me of somebody that's sitting up here in a booth after you throw a pitch. You talk to yourself. Come on, you know, he's a guy that shows emotion out there. I like it. That's why I like watching Peavy pitch. You know, he'll talk to himself. He'll yell at himself. He expects a lot out of himself. That's why he's one of the aces on this staff, along with Chris Sale.
Joe Mauer, 1 base hit, 2 official trips, also a walk. Mauer checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Well, Bill Miller, the third base umpire, saying that Mauer went. Again, Peavy 0-2, ahead in the count.
Peavy way out in front, 0-2. The pitch low. Time now for the Ace Helpful Player Profile, brought to you by Ace, the helpful place.
Well, Joe Mauer coming into the ballgame, a 9-game hitting streak. He added to that with a base in his first at bat. Back-to-back 4-hit games on Monday and Tuesday, the last time the Twins played. Those games against the Angels. And it doesn't matter who he plays against. He has great career numbers against everybody.
Well, Jake Peavy almost lost his toes on the rocket through the middle, but hit by Mauer. That was on an 0-2 pitch.
Well, this is what good hitters do. You saw Joe foul off a pitch, and then Peavy comes in with a sinker. Good pitch. But Mauer, again, getting good wood on it. He keeps that head down, watches that ball almost make contact with the bat, and gets his second hit.
So Josh Willingham will step in. He's got a base hit today in 2 official trips. He's also walked. Last couple innings, Jake Peavy has found himself a little bit of trouble in elevating the pitch count. Pitch is in for a strike. You see the pitch count at 106 now.
Well, I hope he doesn't blow up. 4th straight start that Peavy has thrown over 100 pitches. The most he's thrown in a ball game. His opening assignment back in early April threw 107 against the Kansas City Royals.
0-1 on the hitter. Down low to Josh Willingham.
.69 strikes. Good strike to ball ratio, 2-1.
Count even at the ball on the strike. Mauer leads off first. Foul back and out of play. Matt Lindstrom now joins Veal in the White Sox bullpen.
Well, one thing that early on, both these clubs have very good bullpens.
The Twins hitters today 1 for 10 with men on base. So only hit was by Willingham. Out straight back, and Josh Willingham faces a 1-2 count. The true value of a hitter. Can you deliver with men in scoring position? They don't have it now, but Mauer is on first.
Well, when a club is playing well, of course they will do very well. When they struggle, you'll notice that's one stat that clubs struggle with, is getting the big hit in situations with runners in scoring position.
When you go out on the mound before a game, using yourself as an example, there are some days when you feel better than other days. Have you ever come into a game where you didn't feel well, a little bit of a cold, and as the game wore on, you knew you had your stuff?
Those are games you probably pitched really well, is when you didn't have your good stuff at the beginning because you knew you had to pitch.
Here's the 1-2 down the left field line and foul.
I learned it early. I was 19 years old. My first start ever at Fenway Park. I was warming up in the bullpen from after my bullpen side piece, getting ready for the game. Buck Rogers, Bob Rogers, great catcher for the Angels. My manager in Anaheim told me I was pitching for the Twins. He was a bullpen coach. I had the best stuff he ever saw. I went 1/3 of an inning. Let that be a lesson.
Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and an important strikeout for Jake Peavy, his 9th of the game.
Yeah, strikeout number 9. A lot of the strikeouts came early for Peavy that were called third strikes. That's a nasty slider right there. Looks like a fastball and then just dips away, down and away.
So we're going to get a visit out to the mound.
I think Robin Ventura is going to come out and visit him and take the ball. Well, maybe he's going to talk to Peavy right here, give him a chance.
Well, if you're
Peavy's trying to talk his way out of it, and he did. Yeah, he did.
He's going to face Justin Morneau.
I think Robin Ventura came out and wanting to find out exactly how he was, but I think in the back of his mind, I've got that lefty ready in the bullpen against a tough left-handed hitter in Morneau, but I think Peavy talked his way out of it. So Veal will just kind of throw lightly.
Well, you trust the veteran pitcher, don't you?
Well, especially a guy like him. This guy's a bulldog out there. You can kind of see, I think, when a manager walks out there, the eyes of that pitcher. Or something that he might say is like, what are you doing out here? Leave me alone.
Morneau skies this one down on the third base side, and it will go just into the dugout and avoid Gillespie's glove.
I almost saw what that ball did right there. Just the breeze that's here. It's almost a circular type breeze. We saw Rios, hit a smoker out to Willingham that stayed in, but the wind's kind of making that ball come back toward the infield.
Jake Peavy trying to work out of a little bit of a jam here in the 7th inning. Keep the game even. Here's the 0-1. Foul back and out of play. Jake Peavy, a 19-game winner when he won the Cy Young in 07. He was masterful. An ERA of 2.34.
34 starts in that year. No complete games, though. I'd have to say Trevor Hoffman probably helped him out quite a lot that year.
Peavy had Morneau swinging. He's ahead of 0-2. Now, is there a clock that went off in your head? You're ahead 0-2 on the hitter. Maybe I could waste one here.
No, I never minded giving up a hit 0-2. As long as I had in my mind I'm attacking the strike zone. That right there, he tried to go up the ladder with Justin, and he just fouled it straight back.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and foul tipped. At the plate by Morneau.
You do not like giving up hits 0-2, but I don't want to start aiming and all of a sudden I get the count to 3-2.
So it remains 0-2 on Justin Morneau. Flowers giving the signal. Here's the pitch. Lifted into short center field, and it is caught. Jordan Danks on the run. 9 left on base for the Twins. That is Neil Diamond. That was in Boston today at Fenway Park. That was in Boston today, but we are here now in Chicago with you hearing Neil Diamond's voice, who made the hit with Sweet Caroline.
Touching me, touching
Very nice.
Nice
Very
job
nice.
by the Chicago crowd. The only thing that was a little unnerving to me was Neil Diamond was born in Brooklyn and he was wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, and the White Sox send up Konerko, Gillespie, and Ramirez. Konerko 0 for 2 so far in the ball game.
Yeah, Peavy with 117 pitches, so his afternoon is probably done, and Vance Worley would like to match that. Konerko hits that ball foul. Worley now at 91 pitches, starting his longest outing as a Minnesota Twin. He went 6 innings in his opening day start, which was the opening day for the Twins, opening day starter for the Twins. He lost that ball game 4-2 to Justin Verlander, but he went 6 very good innings.
Konerko with the distinction of hitting a home run in 5 consecutive games. He did that 2 years ago. And he has a place in Sox history because of that, which I'll elaborate after this pitch. And this is hit in the air to right field. It drops in front for a base hit. Today's game presented by Chevrolet, by ADT Security Services, always there, and by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Well, for the White Sox, that's only hit number 4 against Vance Worley. Good piece of hitting by Konerko. Here's a guy that has over 400 RBIs. That's why he's a career 288 hitter. Just taking that pitch the other way.
Well, we'll see if Gillespie's going to try to lay one down to move Konerko up. Runs are at a premium today here in Chicago. And Gillespie swinging away down the left field line and running out of room with the 3 players in pursuit. I mentioned before about Konerko has a distinction of hitting a home run in 5 consecutive games in 2011. Only 5 players in Sox history have ever done that. The other 4, Greg Luzinski,
the Bull,
Ron Kittle, Carlos Lee, and of course, Frank Thomas.
Ron Kittle, and some of those were probably off of me. He owned me. There's Frank Thomas. Future Hall of Famer Frank Thomas.
What a tremendous player. Pitch on the outside. I mean, when Thomas, you just looked at the size of the man and the power and the grace with which he played.
He could do it all. You know, defensively is a little bit of a liability. What really helped him is a designated hitter rule. You know, and let him play a lot longer, which has helped a lot of guys continue their career.
Konerko leads off and the pitch wide. Well, the count goes to 2-1. Worley, as you see, approaching 100 pitches in this game. Now, interestingly enough, unless Veal is going to be the next pitcher in or Lindstrom, neither warming up in the White Sox bullpen.
Yeah, Rick Anderson, Ron Gardenhire looking at the lineup. A couple guys warming up in the bullpen for the Twins. Looks like Brian Dunsing is the left-hander out there.
Here's the 2-1, foul back. If you're just tuning in, the White Sox only run Alejandro Diaz's home run.
Yeah, Casey Fiend, the right-hander.
Konerko inches off first base.
He doesn't take a big lead anyway.
Pitches in for a strike, and Gillespie gets punched out.
Well, I think both 3 starters, if you've been watching Worley and Peavy, both have that fastball that will come back over the plate. You see the movement right there, and C.B. Buckner gets another opportunity to ring somebody up. For Worley, that's strikeout number 7.
So Ron Gardenhire looking on as Alexi Ramirez steps in for Chicago. Worley delivers. Sky high. Infield pop. Morneau, foul territory. Family of Baseball sends heartfelt sympathies to everyone affected by this week's tragic events. Support OneFundBoston.org as they help those affected by the recent tragedy in Boston. A great city. Spent 4 years, lived up there for 4 years in Boston.
Beautiful city.
A great historic city and some of the greatest Italian food in history. In the North End. 2 out on the outside to Ramirez. Ramirez with a little bit of pop in his bat. Oh, this is Danks. I stayed correct. Ramirez is the one that just popped out. Jordan Danks.
This will be pitch number 100 for Vance Worley. Worley threw 101 pitches in that outing against Detroit on opening day.
So Worley draws even on the count at 1-1 with 2 away here in the 7th inning. Hits a bit of the premium. Twins have 6. The White Sox rather with 4. Infield and over the shoulder attempt by Worley, and he's unable to handle it. A difficult play at best. And it might have been an easier play for Florimon coming in from short.
Well, they always say you want your pitcher is in the middle of the diamond to stay out of plays like this, but Danks gets jammed, and the ball pops straight up. Worley keeping his eye on him. May have heard something from Florimon, but like Florimon, it might have been a tough catch for him. He probably would have been able to catch it, but instead, ball chipped off the glove, it looked like. I don't know if it's glove at all.
Well, it was a poor replica of Willie Mays' great catch in 1954 in the World Series.
And Jordan Danks gets an infield base hit with that swing.
Well, that's the shortest hit in his Major League career, that's for certain.
Well, you know, Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, went out just like Robin Ventura, the manager, went out to talk to Jake Peavy in the top of the inning. How are you doing? This time it's Rick Anderson. And they're going to give Worley an opportunity to get through this inning. There are 2 outs with a couple runners on.
And light hitting Tyler Flowers stepping in.
Flowers really struggled at the beginning of the year, but they worked on his stance a little bit of an open stance to allow those hits to come through.
Well, Flowers does have a base hit in this game. 1 of 5 for the White Sox.
See the feet are a little bit closer together and a little open stance. They felt he was locking himself in a little bit.
So Worley goes way out in front, 0-2.
Here's opening day right here. You see the wider stance to the left. Now they have him opening up just a little bit, standing more upright.
Well, Flowers is 6'4". So is that to his advantage?
That's kind of the way Frank Thomas kind of stood at the plate.
This is lifted in the air, straight away center field. And Hicks gloves it to put the inning over for the Chicago White Sox. They come up empty, lead 2 on in the 7th. Presented by Chevrolet. Howard Davis, Bert Blyleven here in Chicago in a 1-1 ball game. And the White Sox have a new pitcher. Matt Lindstrom steps in, right-handed pitcher. who picked up his first win on Tuesday in Toronto. He faces Chris Parmalee.
Yeah, outstanding number so far for Lindstrom, making his 8th appearance. 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no walks with 6 strikeouts in his first season with the White Sox. Last year with the Orioles and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Parmalee fouled down the right field line. Lindstrom is working on a scoreless streak of 7 2/3 to start his White Sox career. Over the course of 2 seasons, he's got a streak of 12 1/3 scoreless innings.
Well, Lindstrom with that fastball, very good fastball, hard slider. He'll throw a split finger. And there's that hard breaking ball right there. That may have been the splitter. Well, bullpen has been outstanding. You can see the combined 1.74 ERA. That's best in the American League. And the Twins bullpen right behind him.
Pitches in for a strike. Jake Peavy was tough on the Twins. He got into a couple of jams, but found his way out.
Yeah, I mean, 117 pitches, of course, a season high, but 4 walks, 9 strikeouts for Peavy. Both starters pitched outstanding.
7 innings of Peavy, 6 hits, 4 walks, and as Bert mentioned, 9 strikeouts.
Veal up again. And now Nate Jones, the right-hander, getting up.
Here's the 3-2. Fouled away. And yet the Twins bullpen remains quiet. Well, maybe now they're just starting to get some action now in the Twins bullpen. We'll follow that.
Yeah, I would imagine Vance Worley's afternoon has done 104 pitches, 7 very good innings. It's like Jared
Burton, yeah. Full count. Parmalee. And did he go? No, he did not. He is going to go to first base for a walk.
And the first walk of the season for Lindstrom.
Tonight, the UFC returns to Fox as lightweight champion Benson Henderson puts his title on the line against top contender Gilbert Melendez, highlighting a full night of epic fights. Henderson versus Melendez for the lightweight title. Fox UFC Saturday is live and free tonight, beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern. So the Twins with an opportunity as Trevor Plouffe comes in, squares to bunt, and lays it down. The play goes to first, and Gillespie throws him out.
Well, this time Trevor Plouffe is asked to bunt. Remember in the 6th inning when Parmalee led off the game or that inning with a double, Plouffe swung away trying to move him over. He ended up popping it up. This time asked to bunt, able to get it down, and puts Parmalee at second base.
Oswaldo Arcia will step in now with a runner at second, the go-ahead run at second. Arcia is 0 for 3 on the day. A couple of strikeouts in there.
Robin Ventura out with Veal warming up. Looks like he'll be coming into the ball game.
So the White Sox making a pitching change. Will return. Donnie Veal comes on, and you see he's ready. He pitched 3 days ago against Toronto, and there'll be a pinch hitter for Minnesota. Ryan Doumit will come in to pinch hit for Arcia, who was called back to the dugout to counteract the left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, Donnie Veal went through that Tommy John surgery in 2010. He's just kind of coming back from it. Last year had a pretty good year in the White Sox organization. 24 appearances at the major league level. Very good 1.38 ERA.
Veal's first pitch is high and tight. Doumit hitting 200 right now. 10 base hits and 50 trips.
Yeah, Ryan Doumit, a switch hitter. 3 hits in 12 at bats as a right-handed hitter.
He went. No, the first base umpire said no. Well, that had me reaching. So Doumit ahead on the count, 2-0. Parmalee at second, and the pitch is in for a strike.
Yeah, that's the best pitch that Veal has right there, the breaking ball. His fastball can be a little erratic, but all in all, he gets ahead in the count. He can throw that breaking ball over at any time, as he did right there, 2-0.
Veal set, pitches inside. And the count goes to 3-1.
There's that erratic fastball. See the fastball run inside. Might have been a little cutter.
So Veal behind on the count, 3-1. Parmalee leads off second, and the pitch. That'll draw a walk for Ryan Doumit as a pinch hitter and leaves runners at first and second, and only 1 out for the Minnesota Twins. Robin Ventura on his way out to the mound again.
Well, he had Jones warming up, so Veal came in to face one batter, and it'll be Nate Jones coming in.
So things are starting to heat up a little bit here in the 8th inning.
Wish they'd bring it to the booth.
For the Chicago White Sox, as Robin Ventura trying to use bullpen by committee to get out of this inning.
Yeah, here you have a starter, Nate Jake Peavy goes 7 innings and has taken 3 relievers to try to get out of the 8th inning. Nate Jones coming in for the 7th time in his 2nd season with the White Sox. Last year, outstanding out of that bullpen. 8-0 in 65 relief appearances with a 2.39 ERA.
Interesting matchup here going against left-hand hitting Aaron Hicks. Against left-hand hitters so far this year, Jones has given up 3 hits and 8 batters. That's wide outside.
Yeah, Jones has a very odd delivery. He almost brings that arm straight up, almost like the Statue of Liberty, holds it for a split second. And he's got a good fastball that can be clocked in the upper 90s. Look at him kind of hold that ball back and then release that ball toward home plate.
Runners at first and second. Pitches up high.
Yeah, fastball at 95 miles an hour. Jones, 27 years old, signed by the White Sox in 2007 out of Northern Kentucky University.
Well, you can see the motion you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now he's fallen behind 2-0 with runners at first and second as they lead off. Pitches in for a strike. Jones actually, his record against the Twins lifetime is 2-0.
Well, what a rookie season he had again last year. 65 relief appearances. Did not lose a ball game out of that bullpen. 8-0.
And he's up against a hitter that has been struggling in this his rookie season. Aaron Hicks. And the pitch up high. So right now, Robin Ventura sitting in the White Sox dugout asking one of his coaches to pass the Tums.
Well, Hicks should get a fastball here. A little harder to see now with the center fielder in daylight and home plate in the shade. There's a strike.
Hicks taking all the way. The count goes full.
You see that as that sun sets here at U.S. Cellular Field. Pitcher and hitter in the shade, but still that ball as that pitcher releases it coming out of that backdrop that's in the sun.
Critical pitch here now for Nate Jones. He is ready and delivers, and it's inside. The sacks are full of Twins.
Wow, and all because of base on balls. Lindstrom led off this inning by walking Parmalee. Then Donnie Thiel came in. He walked the batter, and now Nate Jones walks the batter.
Going to get a pinch hitter. Ramirez is going to come in and pinch hit.
Wilkin Ramirez.
So he pinch hits for Florimon.
Wilkin Ramirez in his first season with the Twins. Not a lot of major league experience, but as a pinch hitter, 1 hit in 3 at-bats and drove in a run.
Out of the windup. It's a ball. They appealed to Todd Tichenor, the first base umpire. He said no, he didn't go. And I think that's the right call.
Yep, very close.
In a tie game here in the top of the 8th inning, and the bases are loaded for Minnesota. Here's the pitch. This time it's a strike. Well, the White Sox coming off a 3-7 road trip. They started the season in fine fashion, went 4-1 to begin, and then had trouble on the road. One and one. Pitch outside to Ramirez.
Boy, not even close right there. Jones kind of all over the place. Of course, these two teams in the Central Division, they will face each other 19 times this year. And last year, of course, now with the the uneven, or the 15 teams in the American League, 15 in the National League, the unbalanced schedule, That's a lot of times to see the same team. Last year it was the White Sox that controlled the Twins. They won 14 of the 18 meetings.
But they lost 12 of 18 to Detroit and Kansas City. So Nate Jones behind 2-1 on Ramirez. Pitch hit. Nate, great play. Force it home. What a play by Connor Gillespie.
That is a Robin Ventura type play right there. That ball looked like it was going to be trouble down that left field line. Look where Gillespie's playing him off the line. He leaped for it, and then on his knees throws a strike to Flowers at home for the force out.
A tremendous play by Gillespie to save a run or more. And so the bases remain loaded. However, now it is 2 out, and Brian Dozier, who's had a pretty good day so far, he got 2 hits in 4 trips against Jake Peavy.
Well, that was an outstanding defensive play.
Well, Jones will work out of the set. And Dozier, pretty tough out today. Looks at a strike. Well, the Twins have had their problems getting men in with a lot of base runners. I think they're 1 for 11 with men on base. Already they have left 9 left on base, and the pitch. It's hit down the right field line over in foul territory. Giving it a chase and a one-hand grab made by Paul Konerko. Great play at third, great play at first, and the White Sox are out of the inning. Lowe's never stop improving. And by the all-new 2014 Chevrolet Impala, which proudly supports the craft of baseball.
Well, we saw that great play at Gillespie, to get the force out at home. But look how far Paul Konerko had to do. Nice running catch. Good concentration for the final out. If you're Nate Jones, you have some dinners to buy right there.
Eduardo Escobar goes into play shortstop for the Minnesota Twins, as Florimon was hit for in the top of the inning, and now Alejandro De Aza against Jared Burton.
Yeah, Jarrett Burton having a solid season so far, coming off a real good year in his first year last year with the Twins, making his 7th relief appearance.
It seems like yesterday when Alejandro De Aza hit a home run to lead it off for Chicago. So now Burton is charged with the responsibility to keep this game even. On the outside corner, strike 2.
Well, let's go back to the first inning. The first hitter that Vance Worley faced, it was De Aza, and he gave the White Sox an early 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Twins tied it in the top of the 3rd, and that's where we're at.
So now Burton ahead 0-2. And De Aza swings and misses. Actually, it was dropped at the plate, but the tag out and the routine play. So 1 up, 1 down for Burton and the Twins. That brings Jeff Keppinger to the plate. Hasn't done anything at the bat today, but he's made some outstanding defensive plays.
Yeah, that's that changeup right there by Burton. It's a nasty changeup.
Keppinger with that wide open stance takes it inside for a ball. Worley 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, walked 2, and struck out 7. Keppinger takes it up high, ball 2.
Fastball at 92 miles an hour. Burton came up with the Cincinnati Reds in 2007. He went through right shoulder surgery a couple years ago. The Twins did a good job. They didn't want to pitch him back to back.
Hit out to left field and deep, but the wind might have held that one up. Well hit by Keppinger, and it's just a long out.
Almost the same type of swing that Rios had in his last at bat.
Well, here's Alex Rios, and what a talented man this is. He can hit for power. Made the All-Star team in 07. He can go deep, and he can run.
Yeah, Rios in his 5th season with the White Sox. This guy is a 5-tool player. He went through that spell with the Blue Jays and then about 3 years, but he's found himself again.
Had a home run swing there, but came up empty. Had some back trouble in the spring, but has gotten off to a pretty good start so far in 2013. Looks at that one outside, and the count is even on the ball on a strike. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th for Minnesota, the heart of their order, their power people, Mauer, Willingham, Morneau. 2-1 on Alex Rios. A big man at 6'5", 210 pounds, 32 years old, from Puerto Rico. It's on the outside, and Burton falls behind, 3-1.
Well, now you have the meat part of the lineup, the home run hitting guys, and Rios, Dunn, and Konerko. So you want to be very careful here.
Oh, he's pitching now with 2 out. Pitch, and Rios.
There's that changeup. He has as much confidence in that changeup as he does his fastball. Fastball situation, of course, Rios looking fastball, and he pulled the string on him. Rios way out front.
So now he leaves Rios guessing now. Counted full 3-2, and he looks it right down the pipe. Strike 3, and Rios is out. We go to the top of the 9th coming up. Peavy and Worley matched serves until each was replaced. Diaz led it off with a home run for Chicago, but since then the White Sox have been blanked.
Yeah, if you're a fan of a good pitch game, both starters pitched outstanding. Now the bullpen. Jesse Crain, the fourth reliever, used already by Robin Ventura. Crain in his 8th start, or 8th appearance of the year. Former Twin. Spent 7 seasons with the Minnesota Twins from 2004 to 2010 in his 3rd season with the White Sox.
Mauer looks at one inside. Crain had a distinction about 8 days ago against Cleveland. He reached his 500th appearance in 500 innings pitched and 400 strikeouts all in the same day. And a distinction of being 6th all time amongst Canadian-born pitchers in terms of games pitched in. Mauer looks at a strike, and it's 2-1. Joe Mauer turned 30 yesterday. The game was postponed, so we got a chance to celebrate a little bit. Here's the 2-1. Just missed the inside corner.
Well, Crain, 31 years old. Played his college ball out of the University of Houston. Signed by the Twins in 2002, their number 2 pick.
3-1 is too low, and the walks continue to haunt the White Sox pitching in relief.
Yeah, all 4 relievers that have come into the ballgame so far, Lindstrom, Veal, Jones, and now Crain, have walked a batter, the first batter they faced.
So Josh Willingham will step in. He's got a single in 3 trips.
He's knocked in the only run for the Twins, that coming in the 3rd inning, an RBI single that scored Brian Dozier.
On the outside corner for a strike. Jesse Crain, as Bert mentioned, the 4th pitcher out of the bullpen for the White Sox after Jake Peavy had pitched extremely well for 7 innings. Mauer leads off first. He draws a throw.
One thing Jesse Crain has, very quick feet, very quick move to first, and Joe Mauer not a base stealer.
Crain set. Not a big lead from Mauer off first, and the pitch is foul tipped.
Well, the big slow curveball right there. You know, we talked a little bit earlier, Howard, about, coming as a starter, you get a chance to move around, but you got to realize these guys in the bullpen have been sitting for 7, 8 innings. You say it's nice out there, but you can see that all 4 starters, relievers, for the White Sox have come in and walked that first batter. As soon as Jesse Crain let that last pitch go, he's already blowing on his hand, so it's very cold out there.
The 0-2. Now back towards the screen. A play will be made, and then it's gathered in by Tyler Flowers. And Ventura, getting some exercise today, is coming out to the mound.
They have a very good bullpen, but I think he's going to use everybody here in a couple innings. I believe that's Matt Thornton that's warming up out there.
So he's calling for the lefty. And Robin Ventura getting most out of his bullpen today. 469th appearance in a major league game.
Yeah, making his 7th appearance on the year. No record, an ERA at 4.5. 2 lefties coming up with 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning in Morneau and Parmalee. So Ventura using his 5th reliever.
And the pitch fouled off.
And if I'm a betting man, I would have to say that Matt Thornton, there's a good chance he's going to walk Justin Morneau right here. Every reliever, all 4 relievers that have come in have walked the first batter.
Want to hedge the bet. Morneau has not had success against Thornton, hitting 167 career.
Well, Thornton's always had a good fastball, hard slider, and an occasional changeup. There's that good fastball, great location down and away. So Thornton getting ahead, 0-2.
The Twins have had a quiet week, missed 3 games due to postponements. The White Sox come off a 3-7 10-day road trip. And the 0-2. Low and away.
That slider missing down and away. Thornton, 36 years old. He was originally the Mariners' #1 pick, Seattle Mariners' #1 pick back in '98. In his 8th season with the White Sox.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled away beyond third.
Thornton, you can see no sleeves. He grew up in Michigan. He's used to this type of weather, I guess.
Oh, so are you, supposedly.
No, I was born in Holland.
I meant
but I live in Florida.
And the pitch. Lofted in the air to left field. De Aza puts it away, and that's the second out. So that will bring Chris Parmalee to the plate. He is 1 for 3. He has the Twins' only extra base hit with a double in the 6th inning.
See the lineup card for the White Sox.
So now a little confab between Thornton and Flowers. 2 away here on the top of the 9th inning. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, the White Sox will have numbers 4, 5, and 6, Dunn, Canerco, and Gillespie. But first things first, and that hit him. Ouch. That got right on the hands, Parmalee, on a cold day. Might have caught him on the elbow on his right elbow. Not sure.
Yeah, a lot of players wore that pad on that elbow that exposed to that pitcher. And Parmalee, he does not have that pad right off that elbow area. Boy, that's got to be smart on a cold day.
Oh, yeah. You felt his pain.
Yes.
So they're looking after him now. Right now, he doesn't need any freeze to freeze the area.
Tony Leo, one of the trainers, out to see if he's all right, and Parmalee says he's fine.
So Trevor Plouffe will come to the plate against the lefty throwing Thornton.
I guess instead of walking somebody, Thornton just said, to heck with that, I'll hit somebody.
And he hit it with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. So Trevor Plouffe, 0 for 3 and a sacrifice. Hit on the ground out to second base. Keppinger gobbles it up and throws him out. So the White Sox with a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Coming up straight ahead. The ball to Brian Duensing, left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, Duensing coming in. This is his 5th season with the Twins. Sometimes starter, now this year in that bullpen, making his 7th relief appearance.
He's going to face Adam Dunn, Jeff Konerko, and Connor Gillespie. And Dunn looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. That ball got away from the catcher. They say he did not go. That was not a foul tip. Adam Dunn looking to be a hero for the Chicago White Sox. Catches the inside corner, counts even to the ball and a strike.
Yeah, the breaking ball right there at Duensing has a fastball, quicker breaking ball, almost like a slider. That last one, the curveball.
Well, you see what Dunn has faced. Longest drought of his career, 0 for his last 28. Swings and fouls it back. When you've been as accomplished, particularly from the power point of view, as Adam Dunn has, this wears on you.
He's had so many at-bats. He realizes that it can turn just like that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like Aaron Hicks that's trying to find his way. This guy has so much experience, so many years at the major league level, that he knows he's going to, you know, catch up with one sooner or later and get back into that good slump, or get out of it.
They say he didn't go. Wow. The appeal was, I can't determine if Buckner made the appeal to third or first. He never appealed. He called it. He called it.
Yeah, it sure looked like, you know, our angle that he went. So Duensing comes in and picks up a strikeout. This on that hard slider, the harder breaking ball.
Yeah,
and I guess Buckner said it, he went.
So that's the 3rd time today that Adam Dunn has struck out, and now Paul Konerko, who is 1 for 3 today with a base hit in the 7th inning.
Remember when we sat down with Ron Gardenhire before the ball game, he said, you know, in a close ball game late, I do not want to see this guy come up, Paul Konerko.
And he mentioned it, said he's hurt me a lot.
48 career home runs against the Twins over his career.
Pitches cross for a strike. Keppinger waits on, or rather Gillespie waits on deck. So Duensing ready to go. Here's the 0-1. This is the outside corner. Paul Konerko, 37 years of age, from Providence, Rhode Island. The team captain of the Chicago White Sox, and as solid a major league pro as you'll find. 6-time All-Star. Pitch hit into left center field for a base hit, and the White Sox have the winning run on first.
That Konerko picking up his 2nd straight hit. And for the White Sox, they're 6. Hits are tied, runs are tied.
And we're going to get a pinch runner. Tyler Green is going to run for Konerko. Here's the Burger King's plays of the game. Here's one.
Yeah, Gillespie getting the force out with bases loaded, and then Paul Konerko going deep into foul territory for the final out. That all coming in the 8th inning.
So now Connor Gillespie steps in from the port side against a lefty thrower, and Tyler Green running for Konerko. Good speed, inching off the bag at first. Pitch is outside. Gillespie has struck out twice and grounded out in between.
Yeah, Tyler Green, 58 career stolen bases, and caught 28 times. Actually, that first time he kind of went back to first base as Duensing lifted that right leg up.
And the pitch hit down the right field line, but foul. The Twins have had the better of the opportunities today. They've left 14 men on base. Count even at a ball and a strike to Conor Gillespie, who made one tremendous. You saw the play just a moment ago that he made behind third and on his knees threw the runner out at home on a force play. And now he'd like to chip in more with his bat in a critical situation. Dunsing ready to go. Count even at a ball and a strike as Green inches off first and draws a throw.
You know, Howard, you mentioned that the Twins have left 14 on. You know, they had all those couple rainouts yesterday. It was rained out, cold out. They had the off day. Then that last game of the Anaheim series. On Monday and Tuesday, they combined for 16 runs and 27 hits in those two ball games. But I think Jake Pavey had a lot to say about the offense today for the Twins. He shut them down.
So Dunsing keeping his eye on Green. Do you dare send him?
Well, you know, I'm watching Green as he's leading off. Every time Dunsing lifts that right leg, he heads back to first. So he does not really have a good feel of what Dunsing's going to do.
This one comes to the plate and hit in the air in left field, drifting over along the left field line is Willingham in foul territory. Did he hold on to it? I don't think so.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he
made
did.
the catch.
Great play by Willingham on the run.
Again, we've seen that ball go down that left field line and kind of drift toward foul territory. Willingham looked like this ball was going to stay fair, and then he had to kind of kick it in at the last second and right against the railing. Makes a nice catch.
Well, we've seen a few flashes of leather here today on both sides. And Dunsing is through. He got the job done, and now Fine comes in. Casey Fine will come in, a right-handed pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. Casey Fien is the 8th relief pitcher to enter this game, all since the 8th inning.
Yeah, Fien making his 8th appearance out of the bullpen. 7 innings so far, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Fastball slider. There's a fastball right there to Ramirez.
So Tyler Green representing the winning run at first base, but 2 are away. And as you see, Ramirez has been here before. Should he reach base, Jordan Danks is on deck. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Yeah, good hard slider by Fein. Fein in his second season with the Twins, 29-year-old. Came to the big leagues with the Tigers back in 2009. Everybody blowing on their hands. Very cold down on that field.
2 teams needing a win. As we're in the bottom of the 9th with 2 out and 0-2 on Ramirez. Ramirez, who finished up runner-up for Rookie of the Year honors to Evan Longoria. Currently living in Miami. And you can understand why he might be a little chilly right now. Fein set to go 1-2 on Alexi Ramirez. The runner's going, swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the inning's over. So Fein gets the job done as we have completed 9 innings. Feel here in Chicago at the ballpark. How about these options?
Well, you know, it is extra innings. I know I'm hungry up here. Look at all the different.
How about that?
That looks awesome. I think you mentioned the word Tums.
No, I mentioned that will put a snap
earlier?
in your trunks. Trust me. Well, we're going to get another relief pitcher.
I like that. Look at that. Cool. That looks good.
Little sausage.
Yeah, Hector Santiago coming in. The 6th different pitcher after Jake Peavy left after 7 innings. Here we are in the 10th inning.
Foul straight back. Well, Santiago against American League hitters, they're hitting .037 against him. And you did some defensive changes too. Tyler Green, who went in to run for Konerko, takes over at second base, and Jeff Keppinger goes to first. It just misses the strike zone. There you see Keppinger, who has had some good defensive play so far and very versatile. I mean, he could play about anywhere on the infield. Santiago, hard throwing left-hander, finds the inside corner.
Well, Ryan Doumit in his second at bat, he pinch hit in the 8th inning and walked. That walk coming against Nate Jones.
Now the 2-2, and hit down the left field line, but foul.
Excuse me, that walk came against Donnie Veal, not Nate Jones. All the relievers walk somebody. Just pick a name.
Pitch hit down the left field line. Curving it, it's fair. Doumit on his way to second. As Diaz tosses it into the infield, and the Twins have a leadoff double here in the top of the 10th inning.
Well, Santiago left a pitch up right there, and Doumit, a line drive. Take a look. You see Flowers wanted that ball inside. It was middle in, but Doumit opening up quickly and lining that ball down the left field corner.
So Ryan Doumit with a very important hit to lead off the 10th inning, and a double at that, the second double for the Twins. Robin Ventura can only wonder.
Well, his 5th double of the year for Doumit. Now Aaron Hicks, I'm sure, will be asked to bunt right here.
This is the first time he's turning it around, going from the right side.
Yeah, Gillespie, the third baseman, in almost on the grass. Keppinger has to charge.
Pitch is inside. Hicks, you see the struggles he's had offensively. The Twins are 1 for 11 with men in scoring position, and 1 for 17 with men on base. So Hector Santiago now comes to the belt. Pitch is bunted, but right into the glove of Jeff Keppinger. So Hicks's woes continue, and Doumit remains at second base.
Hey, jabbed at that ball right there. As a hitter, you want to lay that ball down on the ground. And Hicks popped it up.
So Eduardo Escobar, who went in to run, went into the defensive purposes, now comes up to bat for the first time.
Escobar, a former Chicago White Sox, getting an opportunity to maybe have an opportunity to beat his former teammates here. Came over in the Francisco Liriano trade last year to the Twins.
So the White Sox get a little bit of help with Aaron Hicks unable to keep the ball on the ground in a bunting situation. Santiago now with 1 out to his credit, behind 1-0 on the hitter, Escobar. And the pitch inside. Escobar, born in Venezuela. In 9 games, you see what he has done.
Yeah, switch hitter, good infielder. Good changeup right there by Santiago.
And Escobar way out in front of that one.
It's like a screwball type changeup. He turns it over.
Brian Dozier is on deck for Minnesota.
Yeah, Santiago, 25 years old, born in New Jersey, signed by the White Sox in 2006.
2-1 pitch, fouled back to the screen. Doumit at second with a leadoff double.
A lot of chilly people here.
Pass that blanket up here,
please.
Here's the 2-2 from Santiago. Count remains at 2-2.
Good swing right there by Escobar. After that screwball had him way out front, he challenged him with 2 fastballs, and Escobar right on that fastball.
He's got other thoughts on his mind, like, Daddy, when are we going home? Here's the 2-2. Hit on the ground, out to short, slowly hit. Cross the diamond, scooped up, and wait a second, he's safe. And meanwhile, the run's going to come home. Doman alertly taking off. And Keppinger thought maybe he missed the tag. He went after the runner, not realizing that Doman was coming in from third.
Well, it was a low throw right there. Tried to get dug out by Keppinger, but I believe that the ball ended up hitting Escobar as he's running down that line. Softly hit. Ramirez comes in. He has 2 choices. He goes to first. It one-hops Keppinger, and then the ball got away. And Doman alertly scoots around.
It's considered E6 on the throw and no RBI, but doesn't matter really to Ron Gardenhire.
As you see that ball hitting Escobar right in the buttocks and then going up that first baseline. That's good base coaching right there by Joe Vavra, too, because you have to get that runner's attention. Doman took a chance and really went to third. I mean, Ramirez could have gotten a lead runner, but instead he decided to go to first. And the ball short hopped Keppinger for the error.
So the Twins have broken the ice, and I might say that literally. 2-1, Minnesota.
Yeah, Ramirez will get the error, only his 2nd error of the year at short. And the Twins get a break.
So Santiago now. He pitched out.
Let's take a look at Ryan Doman right here. That's a gamble right there when that ball is hit in front of you. And then you can see Joe Vavra right there waving him home. Doman slid into third. He got up quickly and then saw where that ball was, what happened. Then he scoots home.
Pitch nearly hit Dozier. And so now the Minnesota Twins with a 2-1 lead and only 1 out and still a runner on first.
And what that does, that gets Glenn Perkins up in the bullpen, the closer for the Twins.
This could be 2. 1 there. Pitch, the throw, the relay was up high. So 2 are away. As Dozier beats out the relay, and Joe Mauer will come up.
There's another mistake right here. This is a tailor-made double play. Green kind of double clutched, and then Keppinger, he had to leave the bag. That's a tailor-made double play. You hope that doesn't add more runs to the Twins.
Understand that Green was brought in when he ran for Konerko, though Keppinger was playing second, and now he's playing first. We won't know if things would have been different. Mauer at the plate.
Well, I believe you're at the major league level. I think Green should have known. I mean, he knows he should have turned that double play.
Well, he couldn't get it out of his glove. It appeared. Remember what Robin Ventura was saying to us before the game?
About defense, yes.
Mauer looks at a low pitch.
I don't care what club you play against. You give a club, especially at the major league level, more than 3 outs an inning, you're going to get hurt. This may not hurt him, but throughout the year, it happens.
Pitch to Mauer, catches the outside corner, and it's 2-1. So the Twins have broken through here in the 10th inning with the go-ahead run, and would like to add some insurance. Strike 2. 1 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. And a 2-1 Minnesota lead. And the pitch way outside. So the runner will be going.
Keppinger playing behind Dozier, so he'll get a good lead.
And the pitch. Runner goes and hits slowly to second. Green to Keppinger, and the inning's over. Fox Saturday Baseball will return to Chicago after a word from your local Fox station. So the Minnesota Twins now put the ball in the hands of Glenn Perkins, left-hander, making his 6th appearance of the year, and he'll face Hector Jimenez, who's pinch hitting for Jordan Danks.
Well, Perkins with the 3 saves on the year.
Swung on a miss. That had a home run swing attached to it for Jimenez from Venezuela.
Jimenez, the backup catcher here in Chicago in his 2nd season. Also caught for the Astros and the Dodgers.
Perkins pitch down the left field line and foul. White Sox in the first game of a 10-game homestand after a 3-7 road trip. They had hoped that they would get back on track here at home. Got a tremendous pitching performance from Jake Peavy. A couple of mental errors have led to this. They down 2-1. Swung on it, missed, strike 3, and Jimenez goes down. The UFC returns to Fox tonight. Let's go to Kurt Menefee for a preview.
Sunny San Jose, California, the site of our loaded Fox UFC Saturday card later tonight. It's headlined by a champion versus champion main event as Benson Henderson puts his title on the line and welcomes Gilbert Melendez to the UFC. It's Fox UFC Saturday tonight, 8 Eastern, only on Fox.
All right, Kurt.
Should be a lot of fun right there.
Tyler Flowers 1 for 2 in the ball game. By the way, there's a scoring change. The Escobar ball now has been called a hit plus an error on Ramirez. No RBI, and the run is unearned, but it's 2-1. Minnesota nevertheless. Pitch up high to Flowers.
Perkins, 30 years old, in his 8th season with the Twins. He's kind of always been the setup man, waiting for an opportunity to be the closer. He's a setup man for Joe Nathan. He's a setup man for Matt Capps. Now, with both those guys gone, it's Perkins that gets the opportunity to save some ball games.
Perkins has made more appearances against the White Sox than any other active Twin in relief. 22 games, 5 starts. On deck, Alejandro De Aza, who gave the White Sox their only run. 1-2 pitch, just missed. Tyler Flowers with a lot of weight on his shoulders, and De Aza might be the final out for the White Sox. Here's the pitch. Too far inside. Count goes full at 3-2. Come on! Twins play here tomorrow and then go home for a couple. Been away a long time. 3-2 pitch, misses inside, and the White Sox have life.
Well, I tried the 3-2 slider, and it looked like it was over the strike zone. But C.B. Buckner, who'd been calling strikes all day long, called a ball 4.
So Flowers will be run for, and Blake Tacoti will come in and run for him. He was just joined the ball club yesterday.
Yeah, just activated today when Viciedo was put on a disabled list. And he's looking down at third base saying, I don't know the signs. Help me. Daryl Boston, help me with those signs.
Well, De Aza can make it easy for him. Put it over the wall, and all he has to do is run around the bases. Modest lead, and the ball is sky over near the Twins dugout, and it'll find the seats. By the way, not to make you colder, but the temperature is officially in the 30s. It's 39 degrees.
From Minnesota, used to this.
Well, you live near the North Pole.
It's usually the breeze that gets to you.
The 0-1 pitch fouled away by De Aza.
So even Glenn Perkins, who was born and raised in Minnesota, has to blow on his hands. You got 2 Minnesota kids, battery mates right now, and Joe Mauer and Glenn Perkins. Both of them born in St. Paul, Minnesota. Perkins went to the University of Minnesota. Joe Mauer signing with the Twins out of high school.
Perkins ahead 0-2 to De Aza. Takes his pitch up high. Look, I was born in New York, and it's not exactly sunny and mild 365 days a year, but this has taken me to a different level.
It's a little chilly up here. And there's a Twins fan. And a White Sox fan.
1-2 from Perkins to De Aza. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. De Aza hits the bat knowing he couldn't get it done, and now to leave it all up to Jeff Keppinger.
Yeah, Perkins picks up his second strikeout, just overpowering De Aza.
De Aza, with a home run in his first at-bat, has struck out 4 times since. That's 14 White Sox that have gone down via the strikes. Keppinger, the last hope for the Chicago White Sox. And he is 0 for 4 today. Alex Rios, should Keppinger reach base, he would hit next.
Really? Come on, Cap! Take the ball!
Why do the fans always boo the throws over the first? It's part of the game. Cody with good speed. Now he inches off, perhaps another foot further. Pitches up high.
Tony down in the minor leagues, 110 stolen bases, but he was caught 58 times. So he has good speed. You'd like to get into scoring position.
Twins play Keppinger straight away in the outfield. There goes the runner to Cody, and the ball is lifted in the air. Drifting over for the final out of the game, and this game is in the books. The Minnesota Twins win the ball game 2-1, and the bullpen did a heck of a job. Matter of fact, you can say Vance Worley did a heck of a job, and the home side White Sox fall to Minnesota 2-1. Tonight, it's Fox UFC Saturday from San Jose, California. Our coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. Tomorrow, NASCAR on Fox returns with Sprint Cup racing from Kansas. Coverage begins tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern. For more information on today's game and the latest in Major League Baseball news, log on to foxsports.com on MSN, the world's favorite sports site. For Bert Blyleven, this is Howard David saying so long from Chicago. You've been watching Fox Sports, home of the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the ALCS, and the World Series.